on, y'all.
Change it. I think that's one of the reasons why Clinton won. You know, Clinton had this no matter what.
I'll tell you, when we first had this conversation about the letters, you were right. And
you know, I was just playing it up, and these guys are like, "What? It has a boost!" You know, I mean, over 25-year-old guys.
Poor job of organizing, poor job of educating, too.
Smoking may qualify as an addiction. Certainly, I spent too much money on it. I did it in spite of how it was harming my health, the smell, all that stuff. You could maybe argue that smoking was. But I wasn't addicted to nicotine. I was addicted to smoking. Because smoking is a lot more than just ingesting nicotine, right? The ritual of opening a pack of cigarettes, smelling it, the way we light it, the way we converse with other people while we smoke. It's a biopsychosocial phenomenon. It involves much more than just physical dependency on a drug. If it was just a matter of dependency on a drug, well, patches and gums would work just fine to get people off cigarettes, but they don't. We know what a 1.7% success rate they have, right? So addiction to smoking is...
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the DP Show. And sorry, Phil, to start off with a somber note.
Yeah, I hate that he's gone. It's like everything good in the world, everything good in vaping is being taken away, you know?
It's just the timing. I do apologize. He passed away when I was in Greece. I did not know about it. I got a notification today about a memorial that's going on this week. And man, if I was in California, I certainly would go visit just to pay tribute to Father Jack Kearney. And I mean, obviously, us vapors, as the famous Wish Tart put it, we're so selfish. You know, we see the good that he did, and as vapors, you know, we appreciated the work we did with tobacco harm reduction. But I was reading his obituary, and in the world of addiction for 35 years, he has helped literally thousands of people in his lifetime overcome, you know, drug, alcohol addictions, and definitely his life touched a lot of people. And I tell you, it touched mine as well too. He was just such a brilliant man. We appreciated it when we had him on the show, on the DP Show. We had him on the Smoker Show. We had him on the vape team back in the day, and he was always a plethora of knowledge and a voice of reason. And he sent me, you know, one of those email virtual birthday cards every year. Phil, God bless him.
God bless him is right. You know, like I said, it's like we just keep losing all that was good in vaping. You know, I used to love to talk to him. It was great having him on the show. And I did not know until you told me today that he had passed. So that is a real bummer.
It certainly is.
On top of all the other bummers in vaping.
You know what I'm going to remember about Father Jack? His sense of humor.
He did have a really good sense of humor.
Such a great sense. In fact, you're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. I got this message today, Phil. Listen to this. This is Father Jack from heaven. Listen.
Hey Phil Buzardo. This is Father Jack. God told me to check on your passport. Apparently you have been too busy tanning and watching Pornhub to notice it has expired. I am so disappointed in you, naughty boy.
It's just unbelievable. Even from heaven. Even from heaven, this guy is just unbelievable.
I knew there was going to be some ball busting. I didn't know when it was going to come in the show around my passport. You know,
it was just good timing.
The France trips, there's always something very, very interesting about them, right? There's always something that, like, whether it be my back or whether it be issues in the airport or issues with flights or terrorist attacks or protesters in the streets. There always seems to be something.
Yeah, man. This time.
So we'll talk more about the other passport and what's going on with the passport. But I had mentioned to you in a quick WeChat when we were talking back and forth that I was going to bring my paperwork to France so that I didn't get arrested, right? So that if anybody pulled me off the street and said, hey, I say, hey, look, I paid off my debt to France. There it is right there. Here's the proof. And then you reminded me that you have not paid your parking tickets yet.
I have not. I'm a little bit worried about that. But I'm coming in from Greece. I'm not coming in from the U.S., so I might be okay. But nonetheless, if something does happen, it's going to be a brilliant video.
Yeah, I'll be sure to record the entire thing.
Absolutely. By the way, speaking of videos, I want to put this. If you have not watched Father Jack Kearney's addiction video, We're Not Addicted to Nicotine, it's on YouTube since 2013. It only has 8,000 views, which, I mean, Phil, at this point I'm wrecked, but that's just ridiculous in my opinion when somebody puts up a $700 mod and we get 5,000 views in 24 hours, and this video has been up for 8 years and it has 8,000 views. It's one of the best videos of why Father Jack explains we're not addicted to nicotine, we are dependent on nicotine, which is very, very important for vapors to understand.
But it was really interesting, right with the video clip that you played right at the very beginning, where he said that smoking is more than the nicotine, right? It's the whole process.
Absolutely.
It's the whole experience. It's like getting that pack, opening the pack, smelling, that smell that you get when you first open a pack. If you did that thing, pulling out the cigarette, putting the first one upside down for luck, all of that stuff. I mean, you could say the same thing about vaping. At least for me, that's kind of why a disposable is a little bit boring to me. I mean, I don't change a coil, I don't fill it, I don't charge the battery. I'm sure that works for people, but that doesn't work for me. It takes some of the fun away, in a way, I guess.
Absolutely.
Hey, by the way, I was looking at your. I noticed the post that you put up on your Facebook.
Which one?
It's a 9-year ago. It's like one of those little memory things.
Yeah.
It's this one right here.
Yeah.
And I was looking really, really close at this, and it says,
click the picture, make it bigger.
What's that?
Click the picture to make it bigger.
Well, I can't because I have to talk about like what was on the screen. But here's the picture.
Yeah.
Okay. But if I look at what it says time for these babies to find a new home.
Yes.
Now, I'm assuming that you're talking about the mods and not your family on the screen back there.
Yeah.
I was wondering because your family is on the screen and you have 2 babies there.
That's a good catch. Honestly,
yeah, good, huh?
It's funny how many people got it wrong. People kept saying the second one was a Lambo or a lava or something like that. But yeah, it's really, really interesting that the first one is the first 𝗶𝗶 ever made. It's a 14500 non-regulated. Well, it's got a protection switch inside, but the first one is I still have that. It's on display in the museum in Greece. The second one is a Prodigy V3 from Pure Smoker. The third one is a Helix from Cisco Avid Vapor, one of my favorite all-time, in my top 5 all-time mods. And the last one is a 𝗵, B-A-M, big ass mod from Ed Green.
The 𝗵. We were talking about, doing the, and I found this. Do you remember this?
I certainly do, my friend. I certainly do.
Yeah. I found this. So I decided where, When it came to Florida and I found it in the package and I took it out, I was like, oh, this is great because I can go down to the border and learn how to ride horses, but apparently I can't do that anymore. So that's all.
like you would anyway.
But so when we were talking about doing the we're still going to do this, guys. Unfortunately, I've had some packing issues. Dimitri's been in Greece now. Dimitri's got to go back to Greece. We're still going to do the walkthrough. We're still going to do that contest where you guess the number of mods. But here's the thing, right? You know how I always was with mods, number one, and number two, how my memory is, right?
Yeah, your memory is it's non-existent.
I'm literally like gonna have so that I don't look stupid on the show. I'm gonna send you a picture. I'm like, what's the name of this one? What's the name of this one? What's the name of this one? And for the most part, you get them right. But like me,
I do. I've got a tremendous memory
for the names, but not a lot.
Good evening, everybody in the chat. I'm not ignoring it. We started off with a little somber note, but I think that Father Jack would enjoy the humor that we added to it because he always had a way of making us laugh even in difficult times. Neil, Steve,
I think he would really enjoy that.
Absolutely.
And I find it very, very fascinating that he knew about my Pornhub addiction. Yeah. I never shared that with
God
him.
knows everything, Phil.
So.
God knows everything. Steve, Breeze Tones, what's up, my man? 𝗲𝗍, Brad, my man, what's up? Craig, Greg, Andrew K, Green Eyed Lady. I saw Peggy from 𝗍𝗂𝗍 Source as always. So sweet to hang out with us on Tuesday nights. And yeah, I mean, I have been away for a little bit, and I am going away again. Well, this is work. This was work related. I did the grand opening for the 4th store, as you saw, Phil. I got some pictures here if you want to just share. This is the 4th Liquid Puff in Athens. Well, that's my daughter's.
That's your daughter's. They weren't.
Really, we had a great time. It was very, very successful. And I got a really good team there. The 2 guys that I got there working, just very, very committed to helping. I had some really good-looking girls there too, as well. Yeah, but I want to tell you a funny story. The girls work at a club that my friend owns, and I didn't tell anybody they were coming. I knew they were coming. So when they were coming to the store, Mario, which is my young manager there, and he's a young guy. But he's a really just absolute great guy. But he's young, right? So he's behind the counter and he's making a liquid for one of our customers, right? So he's bent over the counter and he's making the liquid, and all of a sudden the door opens up, and here they come, just like 3 blondes, one after the other, and he literally goes like this. His hands freeze, and he looks up, and he sits there for like 15 seconds. I swear to God, it was the funniest thing ever. I wish I could have recorded it with my phone. And I kick him in the butt. And I was like, "Finish the order." It's so funny.
That's you're a slave driver. You whip people. Can you tell us more about the club that they work at?
It's a great adult establishment in Athens. A good friend of mine owns it. I've known him for years, and he just recently opened. You haven't been there. We've been to others, but this one's a brand new. Just opened a couple months ago, and very, very excited, very happy. A really, really nice guy.
I so need to come back, and I know you wanted me to come back before we go to France.
Well, I mean, you're not fun anymore, so I'm just gonna find a newer friend. I'm gonna find a younger friend.
I know. I'm trying, buddy. I'm trying.
But anyway, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go again to Greece next week for 10 days, and then I'm going to fly to Paris and meet you at the airport, and hopefully we don't get arrested for the Paris Vape Expo.
Paris, we're traveling again. Is my hair messed up? A little bit.
It looks great. It looks great.
We're traveling again, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go be, well, you are for sure. Me, hopefully. We'll explain what's going on there in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, if all goes well, it's going to be nice to be out there. Maybe in a place where vaping is celebrated as opposed to demonized. That would be really, really nice. It'll be nice to be around vapors again. It'll be nice to be around our some of our friends overseas. Who would have ever thought when I started this game that I would know anybody from France or from Italy or from Greece, right? So that's quite an interesting thing, and I'm just still blown away to be a part of that. But it'll be nice just to get away and get on the road and kind of feel normal again. And hopefully my back doesn't go out this time.
Yeah, I'm really concerned about that, but it will be nice. It will be good to interact with people again. I don't know how the show is going to turn out. The show in Greece was a complete disaster. The expo in Greece that I went to, it was September the 4th and 5th.
Yeah, you showed me some pictures from that.
It was like 22 vendors, and literally 5 of the vendors had double booths. It took me 5 minutes to walk the entire thing. And then, you had to have a mask. You couldn't try any liquids inside. It was hot. It was miserable. I stayed for 45 minutes, took some pictures. I had to be there with the Greek trade association that I'm the vice president of, and I left. And it was really, really bad. So I don't know what to expect in France. I saw the floor plan. It looks like it's one hall, and it doesn't look like it's fully full yet. So I don't know. Patrick is a great guy. We always love going to his shows. So it will be interesting to see in this COVID era how things turn out.
Well, not only this COVID era, but we haven't been back in what, 2 years?
2 years.
It's been 2 years, right? So it'll be interesting not only to see what it looks like in a COVID era, but also just what it looks like from a where vaping is today era. Are we going to see, nothing? Oh my God, are you okay? You right?
No, but you said that, and I choked because I know what it's going to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping it's not going to be.
Oh, I bet you it will be. And coming from Europe, I will tell you, the disposables have invaded.
Yeah,
and it's funny that Europe always a year later does the same mistakes that the U.S. We saw it with the sub-ohm craze. We forgot about the smokers. We saw it with the Juul craze. Now we're seeing with the disposable. Everything that America does. Do you remember one time, Phil, that when we went to, I want to say it's France, and we saw this, I'm not going to say their name, but we saw this liquid company that we overheard them say, "Oh, look at these guys! They're a mouth to lung in here. We're going to teach them how to really vape." Do you remember that?
Well, I remember that because I think I even remember a few of the people who said that, and I remember that because I think that was the first time I went to the French show, and I was with 𝗵𝗆 from Canada, and that group of people said, "Look at these people; they don't know how to vape. We need to teach them how to vape."
Yes,
and what went through my head was, "No, you're going to teach them how to destroy the industry. That's what you're going to teach them how to do." Right.
And they did. Not only they did, but those guys that said it.
The first time that I went to the French. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that those guys that said it are probably working at DoorDash right now. I just want to put that out there as well.
Could very well be. But I remember I remember just the experience the first time, because France was the first time that I did an overseas trip. It was the first international show that I ever did. The welcome was amazing, but just seeing the level of the equipment there, that how they were talking about it was just so much more than just the amount of vapor that a device put out. They were talking about flavors, and they were talking about aromas, and they were talking about experiences. And that's when I started to see things like like Damascus steel and leathers and all these different like high-end materials being used. And I was like, wow, this is just a completely different experience than some of the things that I experienced in the U.S. And it just I guess it's going to change, or it is changing, which is too bad.
It is bad, but I do expect to see a lot of that at that show. And look, I mean, you can argue we've argued the disposable thing to death here on the show, so I'm not going to go over that again. But I just want to reiterate, I do believe that the product has a place in the market. But once again, I need to warn Europe, just like we warned them with sub-ohming back then, and nobody listened. It can't be the only product on the market.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what happens over and over and again. We see that. We see that with every trend that has come from vaping, where it's not like, okay, well, let's do this, but really keep it rounded, keep it balanced. We like to use the word balanced a lot, right? Keep things balanced. No, we see it go like 95% in that direction every single time, right? And then you wind up leaving people that just don't like to be a part of that or vape that way, you leave them in the dust. And you know, so I did a presentation. I know you did one too on the platform group, and I was talking about the new Inikin 217, right? The 21700 device.
Not the 𝗂𝗏𝗄𝗏, not the 𝗂𝗏𝗄𝗏, but the Chroma.
Huh?
Not the 𝗂𝗏𝗄𝗏 217,
Not
but the Chroma.
Did I say
Yeah.
𝗂𝗏𝗄𝗏 again?
No, I was just reminding you just not to say it again.
Yeah, I know. Okay. And the Z-Force tank, right? And, you know, like, so I'm involved with the Z-Force tank. And to anybody out there who would say, you know, Phil, you're involved with a restricted direct lung and direct lung tank, and how you put your name on something like that. First of all, I would say, fuck you, because all of those reviewers that were nothing but direct lung vapors, all of a sudden became mouth to lung vapors overnight, right? When that started to happen, right? But that's not even the main reason, right? The other reason that I want to be involved with something like this is because I remember what it was like for me and what it was like for you to walk around vape events and vape shows and have people look at us like, look at those two dinosaurs mouth to lunging, right? Yeah. How I felt when I used to walk around vape shows and there was nothing there for me. So to be a part of this project, I think makes sense from that perspective. Is that we don't want to leave anybody behind.
Yeah.
You know, so if people believe in us and they like the stuff that we do and they like the stuff that we're behind and they just like us as people, you know, well, now if you want something to vape with our name on it that vapes the way you want to, you got that. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. Look, if I could make all the vapor products, I would. If I could make them all. If I can make pod systems, if I can make tanks, if I can make sub-ohm tanks, if I can make restricted, if I can make all of them, I would. But I want all of them to be available for options. And it's just not. By the way, let me just tell you, this Z-Force tank, boy, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. 2 weeks straight, been testing it. I got 2 testers in Greece, putting it through its paces, and it's one of the most flavorful restricted direct lung vapes I've had. It's really, really good. But aside from that, let's get back to the topic. The topic of the disposables. I'm seeing them invade Europe. UK right now, number one, UK is selling a lot of illegal product because there's a lot of over 20 million. A lot of people think that Brexit came, so the TBD goes out the window, but that's not the case. The UK is still under TBD rules, but there's a lot of illegal product come inside mixed with the TBD disposables because it's nearly impossible to check all of them, right? Which is going to create a big problem. Where I already saw 2 articles talking about this publicly on some newspaper in the UK. Number 2, I'm seeing the same thing from the distributors as here. Everybody's shifting to this. That's all they're paying attention to. They're getting disposables, and everything else is being tossed out the window. They're flooding these stores with it. And if you don't have balance in vaping, it comes down to one company taking over, and that's exactly what's going to happen in the United States. Juul is the only one that's going to get an approval. Maybe one more company is going to get approval for a tobacco and a menthol pod. That's all we're going to see here, and that's because we didn't convert enough people with the resources that we had at an early time.
Yeah, you know, so first of all, I'm going to be really interested to see in France because we know that France is very eco-friendly, right? I mean, it's the reason why Inikin changed their packaging to a completely eco-friendly packaging. Yeah. You know, no plastics, just everything is recyclable in their packaging. So it's going to be interesting to see how it is there. But like I've been hearing, and I got a couple of emails. I shared one with them, one of them with you from one of our friends who's just in the UK, owns shops, and he's just beside himself what's going on with the disposal because it's hurting his business, right? It's hurting his business. And I know they just had a big there was like a big argument or something on Planet of the Vapes.
Oh yeah. So let me bring this up. Planet of the Vapes put out a statement. We will not take advertising promoting disposables. We will not be reviewing any single-use devices. We will not be posting any weekly deals offering disposables. After an incredibly constructive discussion and debate about disposable devices. But here's the thing, Phil.
I know.
Here's the thing. On the same page they're announcing that, there's an ad for a disposable rotating on the banner. This is on the same page that they're announcing they're not going to take advertisement. There's an advertisement for a Geek Bar disposable on the bottom. I don't.
Maybe it hasn't taken.
I just can't. I can't. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm telling you, I'm dead.
Yeah, it hasn't. You know, they haven't implemented it yet. They haven't implemented the decision yet. Clearly, that's what's going on. Clearly.
Yeah. Let me get that. Let me take some comments real quick. Alex T, hello from Romania. 2 years off SIGs. Thank you guys. Phil, I was watching your videos since 2015. Alex, thank you. And I'm planning on coming to Bucharest soon. So if you're there nearby, I'm going to be at Gohana's vape shop. I'll let you know. Come by and I'd love to meet you. Tori Norquist, I'm bored with my Adept Slide kit. I need something new. Why are you bored with it? You press the button, you vape. If you're happy, why do you need something new? But if you do want something new, I suggest, of course, Phil, the Coolfire Z80 kit, right?
Coolfire Z80 kit, very, very good idea for you to get rid of your boredom. Some new features for you to play with and experience there. But again, you know, like Dimitri said, it shouldn't be. Look, if it is, it is. If getting the newest, latest, shiniest thing is the thing that keeps you off cigarettes, go out and buy it. But it doesn't have to be, right? You just have to be. You gotta push the button, or if you have an automatic, take that draw. Right, and just get that vape that you enjoy, that it satisfies you. Be it the flavor, be it the throat hit, be it the nicotine, be it the vapor, whatever works for you.
Absolutely,
to keep you off that cigarette. Because let me tell you something, you know, Dimitri and I we're gonna do another retro show. I wish we had planned for it better tonight because we would have done something. I got some stuff that I pulled out, but I can go back to some of my oldest devices and maybe not my oldest tanks, right?
Yeah.
Because they didn't wick, or, you know, there were some issues back then. But really my oldest devices, and screw on something, you know, newer or in a lot of cases something older, and still be satisfied, right?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Still not have that cigarette. But I understand that that's not as much fun as chasing the proverbial dragon.
Yeah. Tori Norquist says, flavor in the drag is way better than the slide tank. Well, Tori, we really appreciate you coming to the show and telling everybody that. That's very, very nice of you. We really appreciate that. All right. What else was I going to say? There was one more comment. Did Kid Bass, has Bloomberg influenced France yet? No, because France is part of the TBD, okay? And the TBD gets the orders from the Tobacco Products Directive from the European Union. So it's a little bit different. He can't have the influence like he's having in Africa and Australia, the United States. It's a different process for the laws that come out. Keep in mind that in Europe, the European Union puts out the Tobacco Products Directive. We're waiting on the TBD3 to come early next year, which is going to include taxes, a pan-European tax feel on vaping. That's expected in early 2022. And then when they put this directive out, they give it to the countries. And the country can take that as a base, and then they can expand and change some stuff on it depending on how they want to present it to their country. So it's a little bit different. Bloomberg can't influence that much.
Yeah, and we all know how you feel about taxes and vaping.
Oh, God, I hate it. I hate it. But, you know, a pan-European tax might actually be a good thing for our industry. I attended a seminar a week ago, Phil, being vice president of the Greek Trade Association. I'm the one that's responsible for the European Trade Association, and Greece is a member. So I attended the seminar. The seminar was talking about taxes. Right now in Europe, Phil, I'm no shit. In Europe, out of the industry dollars that are being spent, the money that the industry is making, only about 25% of what's being made is paying taxes. 75% tax fraud. And then they wonder why the governments are coming after us, right?
Yeah.
So I think a pan-European tax makes sense. If it's reasonable, I'm okay with it. As long as vaping survives in Europe, I'm okay with it. But we'll see what else is attached with the TBD3, and it might be something to put out. Steve Forbes should have funded that PR campaign that Brent and you guys planned his arbitrary life. Yeah, that'd be great. But
yeah, and you know, I at this point I would have to agree with you. And even here in the United States, I mean, look. if you want to tax it, that's great. But how about taxing it and just leaving it the hell alone and let adults have their products that they want, you know?
Yeah, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on. Remind me about the tax bill that has come out, because they put an a huge tax. It's going to be like $80 for a 60 mil, but there's not going to be any 60 mils because the FDA is not going to approve anything. So I see vapors freaking out about this tax, but this tax bill is not going anywhere. Thanks to big tobacco, it's not going to pass in the form that it's in, and that's why I haven't really. I'm more concerned about the FDA sending market denial orders than I am about this tax bill. So let me get back, because I lost my train of thoughts real quick. Let's get back to the European thing. The Europe side, as we originally stated, we're seeing disposables come. We're seeing them in the stores. We're seeing them in Greece. And I will tell you, having 4 stores in Greece, I will tell you who buys them. Do you want me to tell you who buys them?
Can I guess?
Sure.
Okay.
Three categories.
I'm gonna be fair with a couple.
Three categories.
Okay. Tourists.
Yes.
Young people.
Yes.
And older people?
The third category is dual users, meaning people that smoke and vape, but when they can't smoke because they have to go in the car with their wife or they're at work and then you want stealth, they use one of these disposables as an alternative. And rarely we're seeing vapors that come in and buy them when they're buying something else, when they want to go out to a dinner with their wife or something and they don't want to take a double stack dildo with them. And those are the 3 categories of customers that are buying the disposable.
So let me ask you this, right? Because I mean, you and I, we did the Back to the Basics seminar, right? When you have somebody who comes in like that, right? You know they vape, right? But they want to get something small for going out, going to a club or whatever. At that point, do you try to talk them into like a scepter?
No.
Say, hey, so spending every time on this, you could get this, and you're recharging, you refill it.
So I have an idea which I can't talk about publicly that I'm planning on doing, but I will tell you that 90% of the customers that come in, as soon as you tell them about something else, they don't want to hear it. The ones that are coming in specifically to buy the disposable vapes, they just don't see vaping like we see it. They don't see it as a tobacco harm reduction tool. The people that are buying the disposable, again, I'm going to get hate from some people, whatever. I don't give a fuck. I'm just telling you the facts and the data that I've seen in my own stores. They don't want to hear about it. You tell them, hey, stop spending €7.50 on one, buy a pod and refill it. They don't want to hear about it. Number 2, 99% of these disposables have high ice fruit flavor. That's what makes them really desirable, especially to that 18 to 25 crowd. There's not a lot of liquids in the market that you can copy that in the European market yet. So there's not really bottled liquid that I can say, here, this is going to taste like the blueberry ice that this disposable has in, because there's not that many. So you don't really even have liquids to switch them off to that. It's a high percentage of WS-23 on these disposables.
So how come nobody's taken advantage of that and offered a liquid that?
Yeah, well, that's part of my plan is to create some 30 ml bottles of liquid or 30 ml shaken vapes with some of these flavors inside, and have them filled in some pods like the Endura M18. I'm telling you, it's such an underrated pod, Phil. The Endura M18 is one of the... I'm going on the record right now, and I'm telling you, the Endura M18, simply because it takes the T22 full-size coil inside, is one of the best pods on the market. Everybody in Greece that has bought it loves it. They've bought second and third, and it's become a daily device for some people. But my thinking was, I take these 30 ml bottles of shaken vape. That way it's cheap. You don't want to give them a 60 ml. A 30 ml bottle of shaken vape. Match some of these flavors. Fill up Endura M18s. And this is the key. The key is not to push it on a customer, never. But that first moment the customer says, oh, fuck, I got to, $7 again, throw them, €7. Then you say, hey, how about try this? And then if they pick it up, the Endura M18, and you have the right liquid inside, they're like, oh, this is good. Then you can go into that full sales pitch. Oh, with $20, you get this, you get a bottle of liquid, blah, blah, blah. You can make the sales pitch. The problem with that right now is that by law in Greece, they cannot test anything in the store. Okay, that's not just in vaping. Yeah. That's retail across the board, not even makeup.
Oh, really? Is that a COVID thing?
COVID rules, yes.
Okay.
And we don't know if they're going to change it, but right now they cannot test anything in the store. So it's a plan that I have in my head. I got a lot. I got a lot of plans in my head, but that's one of the things that I'm working on, and I'm also working on a recycling program, which nobody's doing as well too. I think that I have a deal with a battery recycler in Greece that puts these stands up in my stores, and they take these disposables. They break the plastic, they take the battery out. So I'm working on a recycle program for a brand for the disposables. You got to do that. The European in general, the mentality is more environmentally friendly. If it's not going to be the consumers doing it, the government is going to crack down on this. There's no doubt in my mind. This is like a year and a half. That's it. It'll be dead. A year and a half, disposables will be dead. And that's going to come from a lot of the countries that are going to crack down on, as soon as they start seeing these all over the place, down on the floors and stuff like that.
Yeah, you said that to me before. You have a lot of faith in the fact that the disposables are going to go away overseas.
Yeah. Hold on, let me catch up over here. Steve Mal, I took Dimitri's advice and tried the RDL and the 𝗂𝗃 pod, and what if, bro? Look at this. 28 vapes. 28 watts.
28 vapes.
Oh, such a good RDL vape. 0.3 ohm coil is kicking ass. Arbitrary Elias. Steve Forbes. Oh, we said that. Sean Tully. How much nicotine do you vape the 18 watt Z coil? As much as you want. We vape 12. I vape 12, and I'm assuming you're saying the 0.8 because that goes to 18 watts, right, Phil?
Yes.
And I vape 12. Phil vapes 12 in it, but you can vape 3, 6, 20, whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
For salt, I would recommend the 1.6 ohm coil, though. I wouldn't recommend the 0.8. Thomas says, does Liquid Puff sell disposables? Yes. Yes. It's not like America. I don't think that we have like a huge, wall. I have like 20 to 25 on my 3 stores. And then the tourist store has more, but it's not like a huge wall. There's not that much of a selection. None of them are legal in Greece. None of them have passed TPD. So we don't have that much of a selection that's TBD registered. So, and I don't sell products that are not TBD registered. So,
hey, why do you think do you have any more questions to get through?
One more. Face meat. I see almost as vape trash littering parking lots as cigarette butts. This is even worse than cigarette butts. Face, because we got the battery is a huge issue. But go ahead.
Why do you think the popularity of the ice flavors right now? Because I can't stand them.
I think because it does something to the throat. Don't forget, again, by law, European Union has a 20 milligram cap. So you can't get a hit off a disposable unless it has ice inside. So I think that cooling sensation with the fruit and all that's why it makes it popular. And, most of the kids I have a college, American college near me at my house. You remember, up the street from my house. It's the 𝗔 American college. And a lot of the college kids come down and buy the disposables. That's all they're using.
So it's interesting what you just said, right? First of all, I disagree with you. Okay, your 20 milligram cap, and you can't get a strong hit off of it. Well, you put freebase in there, and a 20 milligram is going to give you a really good hit, right? So are people subconsciously replacing the throat hit that they would normally get from a freebase with the cooling factor that they're getting in the ice flavors, but with salt nicotine?
Yes. I think so, yes. Plus, it makes it a little bit more pleasant to vape. If you put 20 minutes, and again, keep in mind, these are disposables, Phil. These are like $7. Don't think that has a strong battery. It's got a 2 ohm coil at 7 watts, right? So that's the power that you're getting, and it's going to be a power for 2 days. That's it. So don't think that the performance, that you're going to have the best coil system inside the best battery. So you're not going to get that same hit as you're thinking. Yeah, if I put 20 milligram in a Zenith tank, you're going to get that hit. But it might be a little bit too harsh for some people. So that cooling and that salt nicotine smooths it down, and that's what people like. Did he just say not to use 0.8 Z? No, I did not say that, Paul. If you want to use it, use it. But the problem with the 0.8 is because it runs hotter, and salt nicotine has benzoic acid inside, it eats the coils faster. The 1.6 ohm at 10 watts with salts is what I recommend. But you can pretty much use any Z coil you can use anything for salt nicotine. Nicotine is nicotine. It doesn't make any difference. Tori Norcas, I vape 24 milligram salt nic on the 0.8 MZ coil. Is that a good combo? Yeah. I mean, I think it'll be better if you put it in a drag, though.
Ba-dum-bum.
All right, so yeah. Just to wrap up we talk about it every week, but I mean it's everywhere. It's everywhere. So I just wanted to bring that up because I'm seeing it in my stores as well too. I'm seeing it in Europe in general. It'd be interesting to see what happens in France. Right now in the UK, I will tell you, it is everywhere. I mean, stores are being overrun just like we saw with the vape shops here in America. And you know what that leads to, you know?
Yeah. For me, I still just don't get it. But I think, especially in a situation like you have in Greece, right? Where you have people that are going to a vape shop to buy these. Like, maybe I get it. Maybe I get it in a way where if you're in the US, right, and every single C store that you go to has stacks of disposables, right? But I mean, if you're already in the vape shop and you see all of the options that you have available to you, and you see the cost savings of, whether it be the Inikin pod, or even something like a Caliburn, right?
Yeah.
What I just don't understand why people are spending that money on the disposable when they could have a much more cost-effective and eco-friendly solution in something that's refillable and replaceable. I don't get it.
You know what? I agree with you, Phil. And this brings up a great point to me. This is a little rant that I want. Europe is overrun with, this planet is melting, Phil. And Europe is overrun with paper straws. Have you tried to drink a fucking coffee with a paper straw? Have you ever tried to have a a drink with a paper straw? I mean, it ends up being like pulp in my mouth. Out of all the problems that we had, there's people over here driving V8s. In China, they're throwing lead into the river, and we have to get rid of our straws? Why are you giving me a paper straw?
Yeah, I'm laughing at that because there's a guy that I watch on YouTube that just did a comedy skit on paper straws, and it's actually really, really funny. And it's by Ryan George. He's the guy who does the Super Easy Barely Inconvenience, and it's I'm gonna click on this just so that I can call it the name. It's when fast food restaurants switch to paper straws. And if you watch this, it's gonna feed right into what you're saying. Because that's exactly what he talks about. He's like, well, why use this straw when you could use this straw that actually disintegrates as you're using it and doesn't really work? It's not really funny.
I hate it. I hated it everywhere they gave me pay. I hated it. But to answer your question, why? Peggy says, and Peggy, I love you, but I'm always honest. Peggy says that newbies come in, they don't know that this world exists. We have to teach them. I just don't agree with that. I don't. I think, again, we're making excuses in this industry to cover up because we're selling something and we're making money. I'm sorry.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to play devil's advocate there.
Yeah.
Because you and I have seen that. You and I have seen that in Vegas, sitting at a bar drinking, using our devices, and turning around and seeing a group of young people come up and talk to us and say, what the hell are you guys using?
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
That stuff existed.
But I don't think that's what she's saying. She's saying in the store, number one. Number two, those were some hotties.
They were also like 16 years old.
But no, we were in Canada, dumbass. And they were in casino. They can't be 16.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah. I knew we were in casino. That's pretty good.
But they were hotties. Because my argument is, how did we convert 4 million people between 2000 and 2015 without any disposables? There's my argument. How many people do we convert today? My nuts. Nothing. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm angry because I cannot keep. Look, we want to sell them and make money. I'm all for it, bro. I'm gonna make disposables too. There you go. That's all bank. I don't care. But I can't. People trying to cover up and say, it's convenient. It's that. I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it. Should it be there? Yes. It shouldn't be the only thing that we're selling. And that's the only thing that we're selling in the United States. That's the only thing that's being sold right now. It's a huge mistake, in my opinion. And then I saw another one. It's easy. Yeah, I agree with this. It's easy. You take it, you open it up, you take a puff, you're done with it. I totally agree with that. I totally agree that it's an easy way for people to try vaping. I'll give you that. Whoever made that comment, I saw it up there somewhere. I forgot the name, but okay. That's one of the reasons why I feel. It's no mess, no fuss. People buy it. It's small. It's concealable. And you know, I think that there should be some options at a C-store, but I think that the selection should stay at the vape shop because the vape shop at least controls the sale of it, where C-stores don't. And these products are being picked up by kids, whether you want it or not. It's a huge initiation problem. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why a government would never agree to it.
I put the hat on because Paul said that it was turning him on. It was a guy, right? It was a guy. Actually, you know what? I'll be right back. Just hang tight. Just go ahead and amuse everybody for a second.
Oh yeah. Okay. So let me switch to this a little bit. I don't know why my camera is grainy today. I don't know what happened to the settings, but whatever. Here, we'll switch to this one over. All right, let me look at some of these comments here. I keep a stack of plastic cards in my car, says Pam. Absolutely. Janine says, I don't drink coffee with any straw. Janine, have you seen the coffee in Greece? The cold coffee and the Freddo cappuccino, the Freddo espresso? Tell Phil, he's had this cold coffee. It's delicious, Janine. It is delicious. A nice vape in the morning with a Freddo cappuccino with cream. Oh, my God. But you need a straw to drink it. And I'm sucking through this paper straw like a Thai whore when an American Navy ship comes out of it. I mean, I'm sucking on it. I can't get nothing out of it. It's pulp.
I'm so turned on right now.
So sorry.
I had to get. I had the chopstick was the closest thing that I had to put to a piece of straw.
You look like a Western movie. Anyway, so. Because some people are not ready to quit. Let me make sure I didn't miss any good comments. Enjoy King and Daily were around. Not a lot of others, though. Says, yeah, and look what happened to those.
And the Enjoy King was good.
Huh?
The Enjoy King was good.
It was very good. But there was no demand for it back then, buddy. Remember?
Why? It was a good
Remember? There was no, because people were.
Then, but you know what? Again, it was a different time. Like the thing that, like like Father Jack said at the beginning of this thing, that smoking is more than nicotine, right? The reason why people quit was more than just the vapor and the nicotine. It was because they became something bigger than themselves, because they became part of the vaping community. It was that support system. It was that camaraderie. It was going to vape events where everybody was happy and everybody was excited and everybody was enthused. It was about grand openings of vape shops with lines out the doors. They were part of all that, and that helped them. In addition to the device, in addition to the flavor, in addition to the nicotine, all of that helped them. We're never going to be able to provide that for people anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
They're not going to get that experience going into a C store and buying a disposable. They're not going to get that person who's going to be like, yeah, that guy behind the counter. Yeah, I'm so proud of you that you're quitting smoking, that you're not going to smoke anymore because of this. No, give me your fucking money. That's all I care about. Right? Or going into vape shops that are just covered with glass and Delta 8 and CBD and all the other shit that they got in vape shops anymore. It's not about tobacco harm reduction anymore. So that thing that helped so many people get off of cigarettes was more than the device. It was more than the liquid. And we can't provide that anymore. No. Thank you, government.
Yeah. And to be fair, a lot of the vape shops that started with that intent in the first 5 years of vaping quickly shifted. We lost the community aspect. We lost the help from one each other. A lot of people that got into the industry lost a lot of their direction. And I think that support structure was very, very important to build this industry. People found a lot of help. People loved each other. People helped each other. We just don't have that anymore. It's just drama and bullshit. Big Gun says, which version of the Aries RTA does best with RDL? That would be the Aries 1. Much looser than the Aries 2. The Aries 2 is tight. Let me tell you how tight the Aries 2 is. It's as tight as Phil's butthole is when I'm driving in Europe. I mean, it's tight. You can't get air through that. It's tight.
That is clenched up some serious tightness. Hey, by the way, just want you to know that down at the border, those were not whips, but I will be bringing them to France with me for you, buddy.
Yes. Yeah. Neil Pitt says, Demetrius, would you know if there are any vape shops that sell Inikin products in Memphis? Absolutely, Neil. Of course I know. The wonderful people at 𝗬𝗪𝗍𝗔, Todd and Heidi Donk, very, very good friends of mine, very great vape shop owners. And I think that they're the only people in Memphis that sell Inikin products because they're very tobacco harm reduction focused. His mom actually uses a Zenith tank. So you can find it at 𝗬𝗪𝗍𝗔 in Memphis. And very nice people. If you go, give Todd and Heidi a hug and tell them that I sent you. You're really, really going to enjoy. Okay. So, Peggy says, bring back some 10 meals so we can go back to weekly therapy. Peggy, it's not me I can't bring 10 meals back, babe. I can't. I wish you wish as well too, because from a business standpoint, in Greece, I push my 10 meals really, really hard. It's a good money maker for the stores. It does not commit the smoker to a huge bottle. It brings customer foot traffic every 2-3 days back to the store. Nobacco, the biggest chain of vape stores in Greece right now, 127 stores, and the guy's a great friend of mine. He just sent me a message today. I don't know if I should make this public, but I'll read it to you if you don't believe me. They have 60% share in total of the store of Inikin products. They sell 45% of their liquids as 10 ml bottles, and they're killing it. They're killing it, Peggy. I wish I could get to 45%. I can't get to 5% with my 10 meals. Lady comes in, buys 3 10 ml bottles, 2 Z coils every week, $20 every week. Boom, 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 boom. Like an automatic credit card. Boom, 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 every week. I wish we could do that. But what did we do here? No, Peggy, what did we do here? Let me remind you, Peggy. I'll be the bad guy once again. Let me remind you. 30 meals for $24.99. We didn't like that. We made 60 meals for $18. And then guess what? We made 120 meals for $18. Then we made 240. Then we made a gallon. Then, by the way, you could get 120 meals from the same guy that sold it to you, Peggy. He was selling it online for $11.99. That's what we did in America. We're fucking brilliant business people. We took a gold mine. It was putting out gold nuggets, and now it's putting out shit nuggets. That's exactly what it's doing.
I always said we had gold in that bottle, and we fucked it all up.
I'm vape angry, Phil. I got to do something about it. I'm vape angry.
Hey, Patrick wants to know if we go back to France, if I have the hospital bill paid off. I do. and I have the paperwork to prove it, too. Got it. All set.
Yes. It's still not going to work. Something will happen in France. I'm sure of it. Dale Short says, my local vape shop closed to stay off smokes. I had to start buying Views 5%. I was almost at 0 milligram. Why am I forced to buy a tobacco company product? Dale, message either one of us. Will tell you where to get stuff online. I'm definitely against the government doing whatever they're doing, and I will disobey. I'm sorry. It's just an unjust law. So you do what you need to do if you need to buy in the black market or buy illegally. And look, I hope I get, arrested or do something to be able to get on TV on every mainstream media network and say, your government wants you to die. Because that's what your government is doing to you, Dale. Believe it or not. They want you to go back to smoking. Caliburn versus Caliburn A2 for long-term use. Which would be cheaper cost? Caliburn A2, for sure. For sure. And it's really good. The Caliburn A2 is good. It's a very, very good pot system. If something is good, I will tell you. I don't care if we make it or not. All right. Doing it in 10 mils bottle sounds extremely expensive. Well, Chasing Clouds, listen. They're not vaping 60 mils a day, bro. They're not. They're using 12, 18 milligram. They're vaping 3-4 mils a day, if that. It's not the same style of vaping as you see it here. By the way, I was just about to calm down, and then I remembered Peggy. Yeah, you need to lower your nicotine. Yeah. Oh, you 12? No. You need to vape 3 because, we want you to be healthy. We want you to come down to 3 so you can buy 2 fucking bottles a day and then make vaping more expensive to you than cigarettes. So after 6 months, you can give up vaping and go back to cigarettes. That's what we did, Peggy.
Makes sense.
That's what we did. All right.
That story from so many people. How I started. I was mouth to lung, and I was higher in nicotine, and then I went to restricted direct lung, and then I went to like a 6, and then I went to a 3, and then I was direct lung, and I was blowing clouds, and then I started smoking again.
Yeah, I hear you. Look, man, I'm gonna calm down now. I'm gonna calm down.
Yeah, can we talk about what we were talking about before we came on the show? I got a question for you.
Hold on a second. Let me look at the time. Okay. Yeah. Ask me whatever you want. Let me just real quick. Let me just look at the comments, make sure I didn't make anything. Patrick says U.S. liquid makers evaluated their own product while they raced to the bottom. I totally agree with that. Sean says killed the liquid's profit. Absolutely. Steve says there's still places to buy in the USA. Yeah, you can buy in every state. Trust me. There's somebody that will ship to every state. It's just a matter of knowing some people, and we're gonna continue to do it. I don't really care. Kid Bass says, Dimmy, did you hear about the vape shop in New York that got busted for selling to a minor and selling flavors? Yes, and good. I hope they find him. I hope they put him in jail, and they can meet Bubba, and then Bubba can sell him. Because they sell it to minors. Good for them. Good for busting them and good for shutting them down. I'm against selling to minors. I know what you mean. I'm going through about 35 to 40 mil a day, says Chasing Clouds. Look, I'm telling you, bro. I mean, I'm no doctor. I'm just saying that you're vaping 35, 40 mils of flavoring a day. I mean, you got to really rethink. Up your nicotine a little bit. Nicotine is the safest part of the electronic cigarette. Paul says I need a whiskey. Yes, absolutely. All right, go ahead, Phil. Ask.
No, so you said before we came on that you were having some liquid issues.
I am.
Talk to me about your liquid
issues. And we've done this on the Smoker Show, but I mean, right now, mouth to lung, nothing is doing it for me. Nothing. Sweet Jennifer is sending me some liquid to try, so hopefully
I bet she is.
She made something new that she wants me to try, and it sounds delicious. I'm gonna try it. But right now, mouth to lung, nothing is doing it for me except a 20 milligram Silknik icebreakers, which I love. And I have this set up on a scepter because that's where I really, really like it. And it's 20 milligram. I can't really use it, on a big tank, constantly puffing on it. Mm-hmm. But all my other liquids that I mouth to lung, menthol citrus, which is the number 2 selling on the unsalted line.
Well, see, that's what was very interesting to me because, what I am able to vape all day long is watermelon peach, the number 1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted line, and I just find it very, very sad.
I knew it was coming.
Very sad that the number 2 by several bottles, is not satisfying you. I just think that's really sad that your own liquid is not doing. Yet, watermelon peach makes me. I'm telling you, I have been vaping this. Everybody should go out and buy it right now over at Dash Vapor.
Absolutely.
Go and get it. It's very good. Somebody just sent me, they said they tried it. They said it's amaze balls. I love when balls come into, talking about my liquid. That's fantastic.
I use that word. You know what I was thinking about doing? I was thinking about honest to God, I was thinking about taking a bottle of the number 1 selling watermelon peach and adding WS-23 in it and then trying to vape it.
Well, aren't we supposed to be doing
that? Yeah, that's coming in 2024. But I went to Greece. Well, so listen, Sublime by Nickwid, it was my all-day vape. Vaping it for 8 years, right? They stopped making it about a year and a half ago because I was the only person in America apparently that was buying it. Then the guys over at Nickwid, their flavors called, whatever it's called now, kept sending me, like a liter every 5-6 months, which was really nice of them. Then their flavorings ran out. And I haven't gotten a bottle in 3-4. I'm out. So I messaged him. I was like, can I get the recipe? And oh, yeah, we just have to clear some things. I haven't heard back from him. So I'm going to go back to cigarettes thanks to Nickwid. So from there on, I had other stuff that I was mouth to lunging, and 𝗶𝗵𝗃𝗃, which is a DIY, the fruit drops. This fusion, which is a big fruity thing. It's just not. Nothing is hidden for me. I'm not being satisfied with my MTL.
I'm so sad about
and
that.
And that happens.
Because like I said, I've been going between the watermelon peach, the #1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted line, and Jennifer's pina colada that she made for me. It has something else in there. I can't remember what it is. And you saw the description that I wrote for watermelon peach, right? I mean, I
did.
I'm surprised sales have not like skyrocketed at this point.
No, I saw our check this month. It didn't do much.
Watermelon peach, the #1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted line. Of course, I presented this while you were in Greece. A deliciously moist and succulent blend of summer-ripened peach and fresh watermelon. Flavors burst, ladies and gentlemen, burst from this liquid harder than Dmitry masturbating after abstaining from any sexual activity for a year. That is bursting. I mean, that's burst.
Problem is that I would never abstain for a year from any sexual.
Right, but if you did.
But if I did,
the distance would be great.
I would explode. All right,
like the peaches and watermelons that come out of this liquid.
Yeah.
I even talked to 𝗫. I said, like, can we, put this description on the website? And I guess he didn't go for it. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. So that's a very interesting question. Neil Pitt says, do we vape any tobacco flavors? Not daily. No, we don't. But I find it really interesting. Every time, well, we haven't done a show in a year and a half, but every time that we go to a show, me and Phil always go try tobacco flavors. Well, the rarity that we find them, because the last shows that we did, we really couldn't find any tobacco flavor, and if we did, it'll be 0 milligram or 3 milligram, which. But we always try tobacco flavors, whether there were pure tobaccos or tobacco what we call in Greece semi-tobacco, tobacco with vanilla, tobacco with custard, stuff like that. Because we're always on the hunt for those to help people when they ask us, hey, do you know a good tobacco? And we can help them out with it. I like a tobacco. I'll pick one up and vape it for like 10 minutes with a scotch or something like that, and I'm done. I can't do any more of that. I can't vape it past that.
Yeah, I think there are some more complex tobaccos like that lean more towards the RY4 that if I was forced to, right, I would be able to vape and not go back to smoking, right?
Yeah.
There's definitely stuff out there. My problem now is that when people ask me for tobaccos, like a lot of my go-to recommendations aren't in business anymore. That just sucks.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate that.
And I can't make 𝗶𝗵𝗃 either because I'm missing one of the. I ordered from Bull City Flavors this week, and I don't have any VG, and I didn't have pineapple from Inaware or some shit like that. But anyway, I ordered it, so it should be coming tomorrow, and I can make at least a bottle of 𝗶𝗵𝗃s. Maybe that will hold me off. But
yeah.
Breezestone says 100% go to the other side of the flavor wheel. Join us, says Breezestones. Breeze, man, I mean, it's just, I like what I like, man. I mean, I'm satisfied with, pineapple, citrus, high WS-23, menthol vape. I mean, that's what does it for me. A really good mojito, like a very strong mojito with eucalyptus inside. I mean, that's the stuff that does it for me from mouth to lunging. That's what I like, unfortunately. Dale Short says, a question, why is the Aries 2 so damn good? We still selling in Greece, Phil. A lot of people that are learning to build get recommendations from existing vapors. Oh, yeah, go get the Aries.
And I love it. Every now and then we run across something like somebody will say, why didn't I get this tank sooner? Right? And I love to hear that. Just because, ladies and gentlemen, just because it didn't release last week does not mean it's not still an excellent
it's outdated
product, right?
It's outdated, bro.
No, it's not outdated.
It's outdated. They just say if it's not released this week, they don't want it.
You know what? Fuck it. Let's put out another color, and then it'll be released this week.
Let's just release another color and call it the Aries 3. Buy it.
That's all. That's a good idea.
That's what everybody else is doing.
We'll put like one more air hole on it.
Midnight Apple. That's good. I have a 𝗬𝗪𝗏 apple in Greece that sells very good. It's a red green apple with tobacco. It's second in the lineup in sales. The original 𝗬𝗪𝗏, which is just a I mean, we're killing it with that. It's selling really, really good. But we have 𝗬𝗨𝗂𝘂 regular, which is tobacco, then 𝗬𝗨𝗂𝗃𝗀𝗀, which is 𝗬𝗨𝗂 with apple, and then 𝗬𝗨𝗂𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗀, which is 𝗬𝗨𝗂𝘀 sweet, like an RY4. And then we have a mint.
That accent just so
Like it?
aroused right now.
I figured it'd get you to it. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you. Guess what I got in the mail today?
What'd you get in the mail today?
Yes.
I have no idea. I can't believe you got that in the mail and you haven't gotten what I sent you in the mail. That's really disturbing and upsetting. But congratulations, my friend.
Welcome to the 50s Club.
Do you actually have the card?
Nope. I haven't sent the dues in yet. But
you got to. Because you have to get the card.
Yeah, I know. I have to send $16 in, but I got the thing to send the $16 in.
Congratulations. Welcome to my world.
Not yet. I still have 3 weeks.
Yeah, whatever. You might as well be
we're going to be in France for my birthday? Did you know that?
We are.
The last day of the show is my birthday.
Yeah, I know that.
You better take care of me, buddy.
I know
you
that.
better not I want to go back to the hotel. You better take care of me. It's my birthday.
I fully expect and hope to carry you to your room at the end of the night.
I want a bottle of Johnny Walker Black and 2 girls.
2.
That's a very, very simple thing. All right, let's get some of these comments over here. 10 years on Bobo's Bounty. That sounds good, Rifle. I like RY4 and I love Turkish tobaccos. Oh my God. Look at this. I've got a thing for this. You haven't seen it yet. This is the new one. Super chat from Dale Short. I feel like you guys saved my life. I wish I could send you more than this. Dale, you don't have to send us anything, buddy. Honestly. You don't. But we really appreciate the super chat. But you don't have to send us anything.
No.
To us, that you quit smoking is that's all we really want. Honestly, man, we don't really need any money.
Kind of why we do what we do. If anything, if that's the way you feel, Dale, talk about our products.
Yes.
Talk about the platform stuff. Talk about the unsalted stuff. Support our products. That's a way you can do it. That helps us. That helps our families, and it keeps you off cigarettes. So that's a win-win for everybody.
But we're going to take those $10 and add them to all these $100 bills that are flying down Bill's head.
Oh, you're making it lane.
But thank you, Dale. Much appreciated. Much love to you. Those are rare for us here, but we appreciate it. Can't imagine what the tobacco flavor will taste like without sweetener, says Janine. I honestly, because tobaccos are big in Europe, I have tried some really good ones. I mean, if I had tried them, 8-9 years ago, I would have been very, very satisfied. I'm very happy that we have a lot of options in Greece for tobacco. I have at least 35% of my stock is what we call tobacco or semi-tobacco. Semi-tobacco is bakery tobacco, all kinds of stuff like that. So I'm very happy that we have these. And I try some that are really, really good. I just can't vape them. 5-10 minutes, and I'm done.
Who said before? Was it Army Man Brad? Maybe said that he doesn't like tobaccos. He doesn't like anything like he said RY4 tastes like sugar. I don't know if you've ever been to a vape show, okay, but we obviously have. We've had the opportunity to taste a lot of flavors and a lot of tobaccos, and I actually really like tasting companies that specialize in tobaccos, because you can find some really unique, really good stuff out there. Because like when you think tobacco, right away everybody thinks a cigarette, dirty, nasty, blah blah blah. But I think with vaping, you can do things to that flavor, because let's be honest, right? No tobacco flavor tastes like a cigarette. Some of them kind of get close. I think menthols get a lot closer to a menthol cigarette. Right?
I agree.
But nothing tastes like a true cigarette. So there's opportunity there to have that little hint of tobacco, but surround it in a much more complex delivery system, which is that flavor. I've tried some really, really excellent tobaccos.
Absolutely. I just saw a comment that I wanted to. Oh, here it is. Pico Lector. What's up, my friend? Since you'll be in France, maybe Phil will get you a French tickler for your birthday.
Ooh.
Oh.
I could get him one of those.
He can do one too.
Yeah, well, I mean,
if he was a friend.
It's more authentic if you do it in France, I guess.
All right. Let me get to the comments again. When I received my first AAP letter, I tossed it. I was in denial. Listen, I'm in denial as well, too. Trust me. I do not feel 50. I do not. And I Phil will tell you. I mean, I just don't feel like I'm 50. It's just more for the entertainment purposes than anything else.
It really is because, look, okay, I hate to admit it, but I'm 52, which, of course, he'll pick on me right now. But
old.
I don't feel 52, right? And I certainly don't think I look 52, when I look at people like around me who are the same age, or like I look at people that I went to college with or people that I grew up with in, in the nightclub business, and I look at them and like they're losing their hair. They get like, I don't know. I feel like I can't wait for tomorrow because every day I get better looking, right? I got that going for me. But yeah, I don't feel 52. If anything, I feel like I'm in better shape now, especially with all the walking and the bike riding, than I have in a long time, right? And I guarantee you that if I was still smoking, I would not be in the condition that I'm in right now.
Yeah.
Guarantee.
Yeah, absolutely.
No way.
All right, quick switch of topic.
Oh my, opinions from both ends. You are listening to The DP Show with Dimmy and Phil.
Phil, we got some news, some great news for cigarettes in Australia. Great news. Cigarettes are safe in Australia. Did you know? And there's a lot of people that don't know that starting October 1st, which is literally in 3 days, in Australia, Phil, you will need to have a prescription to buy or import nicotine vaping products. That could be liquid nicotine in a bottle. That could be nicotine e-cigarettes. That could be pods. If you want to get nicotine in Australia, you will have to have a prescription. They've opened up this site here, which is such bad from the TGA, of course, in Australia, that gives consumers some information on what to do and what's going to require. It's got a little video here. I will tell you, Phil, that there's some hefty fines here if you get caught selling. In fact, you'll see here, this is one of the websites, big one, Chemist Warehouse. You click anything that has to do with vapes, they've taken it off. 0 results. I think the first fine is $120,000, if I'm not mistaken. I might be a little bit off on that. Maybe it has it here in the freaking liquid. Oh, here it is. Compliance and enforcement. Let me go back. There we go. Compliance and enforcement. I think it talks about the what you have to go to a pharmacy. And Phil, I mean, obviously this creates a monopoly, right? I mean, you get it. You're gonna have to be the only person that's going to have a license. How many of the pharmacies are going to deal with this? Not a lot, and the ones that will deal with it will have a monopoly. This will be the only place that you're going to be able to get nicotine. It has to have some standards. It has to go through some process. You have to get some permits and stuff like that. But some data and whether it's going to be personal use or commercial use. But on one side, at least they still have vaping, which is completely opposite with us. But can you imagine the government? Every government treats us smokers or vapors like we're second-class citizens. And in Australia, what they're telling people that quit smoking, what they're telling ex-smokers that are using vapor products is, you're sick. You are sick.
Because you need a prescription.
Can you imagine your government telling you, you smoke for all these years, you quit smoking, you find the product that finally helped you quit smoking, and your government says, you're a sick person. You are sick. You need to go get a prescription in order to get your nicotine. I can't find anything that's more disgusting, well, except the 𝗶𝗵𝗶𝗀 campaign that's running right now, calling e-cigs depression sticks, which is, let me tell you something. I've had my daughter struggle with mental health and depression, and I'm offended as a dad that a group here in America would do that. But second to that is this. Because I tell you what, every vapor that I've met, every ex-smoker that I've met, they're not sick. They're wonderful people. They're happy people. They're people that quit smoking, that feel great. I don't need a prescription.
If anything, they're not sick. They're cured.
Absolutely. In fact, a lot of them got off of prescriptions because they switched to vaping.
Yeah.
And now in Australia, they're telling you, nope, you're going to have to go get a prescription.
We were talking a little bit about Australia on the Last Smoker show, and I was having a conversation with somebody from Australia after the show, and I was just kind of like blown away by not only like everything that's going on with vaping there. And Australia has always been an issue with vaping, but I mean just some of the other stuff, like some of the COVID restrictions and the curfews and everything else. Like the only thing that's happy in Australia right now is fucking koala bears. It's like really disgusting kind of what's going on over there in Australia. And now you've got this where you need a prescription. And you're right. I mean, like even so you have a friend and that friend knows that you vape. And now now that friend, like you're so like, that's so bad that you need a prescription for it. It's just, it's insane. It's insane in general what's going on with vaping.
It is.
How this is all happening, whether it be Australia or whether it be in the United States of America. The people who are creating these rules and these regulations and these anti-vaping campaigns are fucking sicker than anybody else that they're trying to help.
Yeah, they really are.
Ahead than anybody else that they're trying to help. It's clearly tobacco harm reduction, and cigarettes are so available, and you can get a cigarette anywhere you want, and you can smoke a cigarette,
and you don't need a prescription either.
It's going to kill you. That you know it's going to kill you, and you have a viable alternative when other things aren't working, and they're just trying to take it away from you. So eventually you have to ask the question why, and it always leads back to money.
Yeah.
Always.
If you read some of this to the consumers, there are two main ways to obtain nicotine vaping products. If your doctor gives you a prescription, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Okay, Dr. Golding, you checked my prostate, you refilled my Crestor, and something else I need to ask you. Can I get a prescription for the #1 selling liquid in the unsalted line, the delicious watermelon peach by Phil Busardo? I mean, the ridiculousness of this is just...
Although I will say, if there's anything worth getting a prescription for, it would be that right there. I would
you can fill your prescription at a pharmacy. Either a physical community pharmacy or Australian, or you can import it from overseas. You'll have to present your prescription that the doctor gave you in order to can check it at the border to fill it. Now, some of this stuff here. Be aware. Listen, this is just so... I can't even believe I'm reading this. Listen, I love my Aussie friends and smokers and just all over the world. You know how me and Phil, we love you all guys. And I hate this. I hate that I even have to read this. But listen to the irony of this. Be aware that apart from pharmacies dispensing nicotine vaping products to patients with a prescription, it is illegal for any other retailers, including vape stores in Australia, to sell nicotine vaping products. Listen to this, Phil. The actual store that specializes in nicotine products cannot dispense nicotine vaping products. And it tells you that you cannot get vaping products at a vape store. I mean, fuck my life. Shoot me now.
So what are they going to have? They're going to have dispensaries, or are they going to have...
No, the existing pharmacies.
So it's going to be in pharmacies. That's the only way you're going to get it.
Yes. Or with a prescription from your doctor, and you can import it. So it's crazy, man. It's nuts. Listen.
So even if you have the prescription, you can't take the prescription to a vape shop.
Correct.
So that puts
illegal.
A vape shop out of business.
I mean, unless they sell. I mean, I don't. I mean, listen. There's a lot of vape stores in Australia that were kind of skirting some of these laws or whatever, but I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming if you can't sell nicotine vaping products at a vape store, it's like going to Starbucks and they can't sell you coffee or caffeinated coffee, I should say. They only sell decaffeinated, but they're going to go out of business in 2 days. What are you talking about? All these Karens want to get that pumpkin spice latte, baby. What are you going to do? Of course you're going to go out of business.
Nothing wrong with the pumpkin spice latte.
Yes, there is. There is. Phil, if I ever see you drinking that, I will fucking hit you upside the head. I swear to God.
Why? I swear. Delicious beverage.
I saw a lot of comments, and I talked to Paul as well too from there. You know, there's going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of pharmacies that just don't want to deal with this. You know, it's too much of a hassle. Can you imagine we line up in a pharmacy and do a cloud contest? I'm sorry. I mean, I got tons of jokes. If I would
get the prescription for the nicotine, though, I would definitely get the weed prescription at the same time.
I got tons of jokes. It's not we're trying to make it funny because the situation is so dire, you know. But man, people that are not aware, October the 1st, if you also have nicotine right now, like if you have a liter, you need to get a prescription for it. Like if you have existing nicotine now. So pretty much everybody that DIYs in Australia is a criminal. I mean, unless they go file for it, I guess. I don't know. Pam says, I just realized today is my quit day, 3 years smoke-free after a lot of conversations, visits to some really bad vape shops. Got to set up, dual use for 2 weeks, then quit cigarettes for good. Congratulations. And if I'm not mistaken, she went to Dash Vapes, which manufactures the #1 selling liquid in the unsalted line, the Watermelon Peach. Nefarian says, hey, what's up? Just the guys I wanted to see. I'm in Tennessee, in Gatlinburg, on vacation, and Demi has done a great job in Tennessee. Vaping is strong here, at least right now. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah, for now it is. And
it is good. How come nobody's having a Dimitri day?
Because I'm special. I'm just really, really good like that.
You should have a Dimitri.
But yeah, enjoy your time in Gatlinburg. It is beautiful in Gatlinburg, and I hope you enjoy it. And visit Knoxville Vapor is near there. Say it. Huh? Say it with me. Oh my God. What's the other vape shop that's up there that's really good? Just a second. God, I can't believe my mind has stopped.
It's okay. It happens. See what comes along with that AARP card? It's going to get worse.
Yeah, my mind is stopped right now. Hold on, let me see.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it stopped. God, I can't believe I can't remember. Danny Gillis, his vape shop. Anyway, great vape shops. Anywhere you're going to stop there. Just make sure you go to a vape shop and don't go to a head shop because there's quite a few of them over there. Nefarian, ask your pharmacist what's better, aliens or fuse Claptons with Watermelon Peach? Can you imagine? This is why I think that the pharmacists don't want to deal with it, and I wouldn't either. Listen, I owned Portofino's Greek Italian restaurant for 15 years, and if somebody came in and said, "Hey, can you make me crab legs?" No. I don't want. It's a Greek Italian restaurant. I'm not gonna make crab legs. Go down the street. Go to Joe's Crab Shack. And I get it. I don't blame the pharmacies for not wanting to do that. This is the government's fault for imposing them to do that. And, to sell this. Asphalt Cowboy. Phil was a huge help in the last 3 weeks in guiding me. Thanks, buddy. There you go, Phil. You got a nice comment too.
Awesome. What did I do?
I don't know. Doesn't make any difference.
I don't know. But, hey, any way I can help any of you guys, you know how to reach me.
Yeah. Dimitri said they can't sell a pod kit with a pod in it. You have to leave that shop to go to a different shop to buy the pod in Australia, says Neil. Okay, that's great. Let's just burn gas all day going from place to place, try to assemble a fucking vape. Brilliant.
Yeah, and make it as difficult as possible for smokers too. Like really, just to find and to use the product. I mean, that's really what's happening here too, right?
Yes. And I'm so angry that I can't remember that store that I'm going to look it up really quick on my website.
It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. So in the meantime, I'll tell everybody what happened this week. So I was doing all the where are you? You're over there?
Oh yeah, I'm so shit. I hit the wrong button. Hold on. I was going to put you on. There you go.
Okay. All right. So this week I was doing all my travel. I was finalizing the travel from France, because from France I'm going to go flying back from France. I'm going to fly into JFK so I can go see my family for a few days. Then I'll fly back to Florida, and then I set up my my travel for Christmas time to go see my family again. And I noticed something kept coming up on the reservations, and it was in red, and it says more information needed for the passenger. And like, look how much flying do Dimitri and I do with American Airlines, so they have all of my information. And I was like, what's going on here? Sure enough, my passport is expired. My passport is expired, and I went into instant meltdown panic mode, because it takes a while to get a passport renewed. And I probably would have noticed that if Dimitri continued our travels that we were doing a year and a half ago, but it's been literally a year and a half, if not more, since we've traveled because of COVID.
You know, all I'm hearing is excuses, man. That's all I'm hearing. All I'm hearing is like a prelude of excuses.
So anyway,
go ahead.
I spent basically a whole day on the phone holding, and there are a couple of legitimate ways to get a passport renewed if there's like a death or an emergency, but you have to prove the death. And Dimitri's still alive, so I can't do that. And there's like a 2-week thing. But even that, like, I couldn't start the 2-week thing until you're within a 2-week travel window. And that made me nervous, because I had to actually wait additional time before I set up the appointment. So anyway, I went through an expediter.
Such a ridiculous
and
thing.
hopefully it's going to work.
Listen,
they seem very legitimate. They seem to tie into every. They have kiosks in FedEx. That could mean that they're legit. But anyway, $1,200.
Well, I mean, it's your own fault. It's going to be an expensive.
I know it's my own fault.
Yeah, it's expensive. By the way, this is the shop I was talking about. 𝗂𝗵𝗶𝗹. I finally found it. So.
Did you find it?
Yeah, 𝗂𝗵𝗶𝗹, right here. 𝗂𝗵𝗶𝗹.
Feel better?
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, any of these shops that you're going to visit, all these are great Tennessee Smoke-Free Association members. You can go to TennesseeSmokeFree.org, and they're the ones that actually paid for us to be successful in Tennessee for the last 8 years. So don't thank me. Make sure you thank and support them.
Yes.
Dan Donahue says, oh, here comes Dan. Renew it online for $200, says Dan Donahue. Dan.
Yeah, but Dan.
The federal government took 8 years to deny a PMTA. During COVID, you want him to send it? There's no way. He wouldn't make it. He's flying out the 15th. There's no way he would have got. And listen, can you imagine? You know, Dan, you know Phil's anxiety, right? When we fly, he gets to the airport a day ahead. He wants me to be there a day ahead when we're flying. Can you imagine Phil on a daily basis waiting for this passport to come as the days are approaching the day for France? He's going to have a stroke. There's no way he would have made it.
I almost had a stroke that day.
That's what I'm saying.
I realized that it was,
Damn, come on. How long have you known us?
Bad. I think I was on hold with several different companies, including the expediter. But now that I have several contacts at the expediter's office, and it's really interesting the way they do this. Basically, and I want Dimitri to talk about this experience that he had in Greece. You had something that was either going to take 90 days and $9 or like $100, and you had it instant, right? But it's all about grease in the wheel. It's it's all about grease. It's all about money. This whole fucking world moves on money. Right? Money
Absolutely.
Can get things to happen. It's so sad. It really is. But anyway, now I'm getting text messages, and the text message said my package was sent by FedEx, and I got a new text message that the package has arrived, and my shut up, and my paperwork is being reviewed, and hopefully I have my passport by the end of the week. Yeah. So
you know what? That's what happens. When I was in Greece. A friend of mine was selling a small motorcycle, and I bought it. Just like a commuter to go from store to store, because you know how parking is in Athens. It's very difficult to find parking with a car and all that. So I had to transfer the title to my name, And in Greece, the government itself, which should be the #1 help to the citizens, is the worst. I mean, it's the worst. And everything. You go pay your phone bill. If you're not using it online, you have to wait 2 hours. If you go pay your water, it's all government owned, right? So we go down to the Ministry of Transportation to transfer this title. They ask for like $9 in, these stamps, and then, 30 euros for the transfer and all that. And then you have to wait in line for 2 hours. Then when you get there, you fill out the paperwork. It's going to take a month and a half to get your title, they said, or at least a month and a half. So my friend that was selling the bike says to me, he says, hold on a second, let me call somebody. So he calls somebody. We go downstairs to a little coffee shop. The guy comes, literally looks like a bouncer from Bada Bing at The Sopranos. I mean, this guy looks, like he's just killed his mom before he got there. And he walks in. He's like, hey, guys, how's it going? Sits down, orders her coffee, buys us coffee, which was really nice of him, buys us coffee. He says to me, give me your passport. I give him the passport. He says to my friend, give me your ID, give me your title. Okay. Wait right here. I'll be back in about 20 minutes. Phil, he comes back. I swear to God, we're drinking coffee. He comes back in 20 minutes, has the new title in hand. He has the new title in his hand. Listen to this scam. I mean, it's not a scam. I call it a service. I was like, where have you been all my life? I'm going to be using you all the time. This guy charged us 80 euros. I gave him 100. I gave him a 20 euro tip, but I just did that so he remembers me when I need him next time. Charged us 80. This whole process was 39 euros from the government. He charged us 80. He walks into the building, bypasses the entire line, goes to somebody that's inside there that's part of this entrepreneur corporation that they've started, probably gives him 20. He keeps 20. They forget about every little poor guy that's sitting in line. They forget everybody's put in the back. He gets all the paperwork done in 5 minutes, gives it to him, and he leaves. He made 20. The other guy made 20. I got my paperwork. Everybody's fucking happy. It's exactly what you're doing with your passport right now. You're just paying $1,200 instead of $80. That's the only difference.
And Dan says right here, where did I see what he wrote? Something about, okay, yeah. On the first trip to China, 15 years expired. Wow. So he did his passport online and the China
check your microphone a little bit.
In advance for $500. Dan, what I recommend, if the vape shop thing turns sour, you should start processing passports and visas. Don't charge $500, charge $700, and pocket the rest. That's what everybody else is doing. If you know how to do that, look, I'm just in panic mode. I have to get there for Inikin, right? So I had to make it happen, and that seemed. Plus, there was the dollar amount that I paid was to get it done in a week. So at least I had some padding there. I had a buffer in case something went wrong. Because when it comes to French trips, something goes wrong, right? So that's kind of why I did it.
Dan, let me tell you his anxiety. Every text that he gets from this company, he sends it to me. Like it's a relief. He screenshots it and sends it to me. He's like, oh, I got a text. They picked him up. Oh, I got a text. They received him. Now... Today, he hasn't received a text. I guarantee you.
I got the text this morning that they received it and they're reviewing it. If I don't get a text tomorrow, they send it again. Yeah.
Dan, he's going to have a conniption. I'm telling you. It's just unbelievable.
Dude, I was a fucking mess.
If it doesn't make it in time, though, I'll tell you what. It's going to be a hilarious video. Can you imagine? Oh, my God. I don't even want to imagine. Going to happen, which yeah, go ahead.
I guess the good thing was that because I was making the travel arrangements, I saw it, because I would not have seen that, because the airline, other than that little red thing that came up, they really don't tell you. Nothing comes up on the screen and says your passport is expired
until you check in.
Which at that point it's too fucking late, right? And that's exactly what would have happened if I didn't notice it a couple days ago.
Oh, my God. By the way, I do want to mention when I was in Greece, I went and saw this guy. Remember this guy? He quit with Inikin.
Σαν το slide, έτσι ακριβώς, σαν το slide. Προσπαθούμε να είναι όσο πιο εύκολα γίνεται. Και με μια καινούργια τεχνολογία αντιστάσεις μέσα, φυσικά φτάσαν για περισσότερο ντουμάνι κτλ. Αλλά δεν έχει σημασία, θα έχετε και μόνο το μοντέλο.
So this guy has a YouTube channel, and I met him my last trip to Greece, and then I saw him again, and he's just a wonderful guy, just a really nice guy. His name is 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹. And he does these funny videos. I told you, when he goes in shopping and all that. So I met up with him. We had lunch and we talked about some of the stuff. And what I like about him is that his audience is not vapors, obviously, right? He has a YouTube channel, and a lot of smokers on my first video, a lot of smokers contacted Liquid Puff. I think we got like 15 or 16 orders from that video. But it's funny. This is how this vaping that used to be a community, but now it's just full of toxic waste dump. The first video that I shot with him, I got all these comments from cat's going crazy. I got all these comments from vapors. Oh, what are you doing shooting a video with him? These are people that do, videos, vape videos in Greece, right? The vape videos that they do in Greece might get like 1,000 views. This guy here, look, the video has been up for 3 days. It's approaching 10,000 views. And to me, there's nothing better than approaching an audience at that level. 10,000 views is a lot in 3 days. Me and Phil have not seen 10,000 views in a video since, since a long time.
By the way, that whole segment that you just did, the only thing that I noticed was that plate of fried calamari.
Oh my God, it was.
And now I'm craving it and I'm hungry.
We had octopus, calamari, fried zucchini, Greek salad, and a fish. It was oh my God. Anyway, very hospitable. 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹 is a great guy, and he's a lot of fun. And I love how he started with Endura M18. He loved it. Then he bumped it up to the Zenith. And now you see him, he's starting to get that itch. He's like, oh, what's new coming out and stuff like that. He's in that journey that we all kind of started off with.
But you know what, though? What you're doing is smart. And it's what the industry doesn't do enough of, right? It's you're trying to reach a market that is outside of the vaping world. I mean, look what happens like every time a positive article comes out with vaping. What do? We share it amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the problem is we continue to talk to ourselves. Now, you doing that, you're reaching outside of the vaping market, the typical people that you normally reach. Right. Yeah. So anybody who thinks poorly about that idea is wrong.
Absolutely.
Dead wrong.
Absolutely.
Right.
I left all the Greek vape groups and all that. I can't stand. There's just so much toxicity, man. I mean, we're talking about this, small 200, 300 vapors that go from YouTube channel to YouTube channel, and that's all they, it's just, they're just trash. But anyway, what I found really, really interesting is how many people we helped quit smoking from the first video. I put a nice little coupon code for starter kits, Inikin products, and I think we got 15 or 16 orders from that video. And if we got one person to quit, it was worth my time. Plus, I enjoy his company and the conversation. And I mean, we've become friends now. But I really appreciate him he's given me his platform to talk about vaping, even though his channel is not vaping related. So he wants to meet you, and I said, well, he's old now. He doesn't travel to Greece anymore. But by the way, did you check your driver's license? When's that expired?
Well, that's the Florida license, so that's
I'm just checking.
It's new. Dan says he's so hungry now he would eat chicken feet. But what about duck heads, though? Would you eat duck heads, Dan? That's the bigger question, right?
Was he there for the duck heads? He was there for them.
He absolutely was there for the duck heads. Yes.
He didn't eat duck heads.
No.
Boy, you went into that duck head like a boss,
ate the
man.
Shit out of that duck head. It was delicious.
Picollector, will Phil be pre-bottling his urine for the France trip, or we still hope your eyesight is good enough at your advanced age to collect it from again?
That's a brilliant idea.
That's a fucking brilliant. Maybe you should take a couple bags of your urine with you.
Yeah, should.
Pack them in your chicken bag.
Could you imagine that? What's the amount of liquid you could bring through a TS?
It's 100 mils, I think, of pure urine.
What's this liquid, sir?
You know what would be funny though? You know, in our luck, we're gonna get pulled over. There's no label on this. They're like, oh, what are you smuggling into the country? And then they send it to the lab, thinking it's gonna be like fucking drugs and shit like that, and they find out it's urine.
Wimpy in every France newspaper. Stupid smuggler brings his own urine to France.
I'm thinking ahead about those drug tests. That's all. I just have this, on standby at all times.
Oh my God, I am dead. All right. I wouldn't recommend vaping any black market THC pens. Yes, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I've been a little active on Twitter this week. I've had some good tweets about that, but ultimately, I saw a question a little bit earlier that I kind of missed, and I want to bring it back up. That asked me if the lawsuit that National Tobacco has filed against the FDA, we saw a lawsuit against the FDA from National Tobacco claiming that the PMTAs were not, the process was not done do correct. I want to go on the record, Phil. I want to go on the record one more time. All of our episodes are here.
Yep.
On a personal conversation, me and you, I've told you this many, many, many times, but I did say it publicly as well too, that all the work that all these companies did, all the work that Amanda and Char and everybody and all the companies that went through this process, it's not just them. There were a lot of companies that did PMTAs on their own. I filed 800 PMTAs on myself.
All right.
They're going to find one thing that doesn't qualify the PMTA, and they're going to use that as a paper cutter response to deny all of them. And that's exactly what happened. Okay? So you can call me whatever you want to call me, but you cannot say that I'm wrong most of the time that I speak. So will the lawsuit do anything? I'm not an attorney. But the smart people that I talk to on a regular basis that are way smarter than me, legal heads, it's not a winnable case. I don't think that they filed the lawsuit so much for the lawsuit, but more for media attention. What do I mean by that? We need to put this in front of the media at some point, and nobody's doing it. So I think that if we can get some more lawsuits, maybe that will trigger, not an investigation per se, but it'll trigger the discussion of what the fuck happened. Right now on the FDA website, Phil, I sent it to Patrick the other day from Son of Liberty Radio. Let me bring it real up here. Let me just show it to you on the screen. Right now on the FDA website, if you go, there is a cookie paper response of this denial letter. They have it on the website. You can actually go and get that. I mean, it's basically they just fill in the blanks, and
yeah, okay.
And that's how they deny all these PMTAs. They're not even looking at them. I mean, it's a way of eliminating competition, right? I just don't think that the FDA can be held in court on this. They're so well protected. They have so much authority and power given to them that I don't think a lawsuit is going to do it. I do think that Freedom of Information Request Acts, I think if we can get some memos, I think if we can get something out of the FDA that shows that they acted with not public health interest in mind, not taking population as a whole in mind, not taking scientific data in mind, they just fucking flat out rejected it. I think that would be the win in this. I certainly do not believe that any open vapor product, as I've said many, many times, will be granted a PMTA. I just don't think that you can prove the burden that they have put on us, which, by the way, was written by Philip Morris, if you didn't know. Philip Morris is the one that wrote the Tobacco Control Act in 2009. If you look at Wiki, you'll see that it's also called the Philip Morris Protection Act. So why did PMI, Philip Morris, why did they agree and negotiate the Tobacco Control Act? Well, they know that any new product that comes to the market will have to spend millions and millions of dollars to compete with them. The PMTA is simply a monopoly and competition elimination. That's all the PMTA is. You cannot meet the burden that they're asking for you. Even if you had millions of dollars, you just can't do it. It's impossible. The process is flawed.
That's why I think that we should disobey. That's why I'm telling everybody, continue to sell. If you need to use synthetic nicotine, use synthetic nicotine. If you want to use nicotine made out of, Phil's PPTers, use it. If you want to use regular nicotine, I don't give a shit. You need to make sure your customers have the products that they have stayed smoke-free with. What I want you to do is get arrested. I want people to bust into your shop, not for selling to minors, because then rightfully so, you should be arrested. But selling a bottle of the number one selling unsalted watermelon peach to a 70-year-old lady that depends on that to stay off cigarettes, that I want to see that on the news. I want to see it across America. That's the only way we're going to see change with the FDA. As soon as Americans, the public, understand what the FDA has done here, and they can do that with anything else, then that's the only way we're going to see change, in my opinion.
Well, so that's part of the problem. Part of the problem is that if it doesn't affect you, who you don't care, right? And the only time you do care and stomp your feet is when they do the same thing that they're doing to us to something that you care about, right? And I wish people would wake up and realize that. And they need to, because if it's not this thing, it's going to be something else that directly affects you. And the sad thing is that people just, I really believe they just don't care. They just don't give a shit, right? We're just a bunch of dirty smokers or vapors that, eventually will die, and then on to the next thing. It's sad. It's really sad, but I think that's a lot of what's going on.
It really is. Brad asked, do you think the big companies supporting the NNA in their conference will make a difference? No. I mean, I saw Amanda Wheeler, just a brilliant speech at the GFTN this year. All this is great. It makes us feel good. But we need to have change, people. And there's a lot of people in the last decade that have given brilliant speeches, including my good tan friend buddy that's sitting right next to me, that we've done a lot of good things. There have been a lot of good advocates that have fought very, very hard for this product. The problem is that we cannot compete on that level. It's simple as that. We are outspent, outsmarted, and they get away with everything, and we get away with nothing. That's basically what it boils down to. There's no big company, Brad. There's no company that has shareholders. Let me just put it to the end. There's only a few that have them in the tobacco space that care about the movement. Are you catching what I'm saying? They don't care about what is the movement, the tobacco harm reduction movement. Any company that has shareholders, the only thing that they're concerned about is to make money and be profitable for their shareholders. So even though Philip Morris, and I see a lot of, even advocates say, oh, they believe in a smoke-free future, and with both hands jerking off. Not in your case, Phil. But even though they have smoke-free products and harm reduction products, they want to be the only ones selling them. So how do you do that? Either A, you buy your competition, like we saw with Juul, or B, you regulate them out of competition. And that's exactly what we're seeing in America right now. You're being regulated out as a competitor because we can't spend with them.
And really, big tobacco selling vape is so fucking hypocritical. I mean, it really is. I'm surprised that that's something else that isn't talked about. Or first of all, they wouldn't even be in the vaping market if it wasn't for us.
Yeah.
Right. They would have no interest in the vaping space if it wasn't for us in the industry that we created. Right. And the fact that these jokers are, saying that they care about tobacco harm reduction and putting vapor products out there while they're still selling cigarettes. If people don't see the hypocrisy in that, then you're dumb.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Dan says he's going to get on the news. Dan has a very brilliant plan. I don't know if he's told you, but let me tell you what it is, just in case you don't know. Dan has a can of kerosene in his vape shop. I'm not going to tell you what's in it because that would give it away. But it's a can of kerosene. You see it as a can of kerosene. He said that if anybody comes in to close his shop or come in, he's taking that can of kerosene, he's getting on the news, and he's going to get outside his vape shop. He's going to douse himself with it and light himself on fire. Let me tell you, and this is what I'm going to do. If that happens, I am flying to New Jersey, and I'm going to hold the lighter right next to him. I swear to God, Phil. That would be the most impactful action for vaping right now. And it needs to happen right now. You know why? Because shock sells in America. Shock is what sells. We're sitting all these years saying, oh, man, you know, I'm an ex-smoker, man. You know, we're on the defensive always. I'm an ex-smoker. I'm trying to help people quit smoking. Oh, no. You're just in the business. You're trying to make money. You're trying to hook the new generation. Oh, you're selling depression sticks. Oh, you're hooking my kid. Oh, you're giving him Juul. You're giving him this higher nicotine than. And we're sitting back going, but no, man, look at me. I'm a 50-year-old, looking much younger. I'm a 50-year-old guy that quit smoking with vaping. That's all. And nobody gives a shit, Phil. Nobody gives a shit. It's not exciting. It's not, okay, Phil quit smoking. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody, I guarantee you, everybody that you voted for, Phil, if you go tell them you quit smoking with vaping, they don't give a shit.
They don't care.
But if we had an impact on TV, can you imagine? By the way, Dan, I haven't seen you in a while. If you've lost weight or not, how many cans of kerosene would it take to? Would it take one or two? It was a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke, Dan. I love you. But
it is a joke. But by the way, Dan, Dimitri like offered right away to run down there with a lighter. Like, you know, I love you, man. I'm not gonna hold a lighter.
But I'm not, and not to light him up, you dumbass. You're such a not to light him up, not to light, just for the effect. For the effect. I'm with you.
Right, but the thing, but don't you need news crews there? You got somebody's got to pick up the fucking story.
Oh, don't worry, we got people for that.
Nobody is picking up our story.
We got people for that. His staff is going to call every news channel, and we've got it all set up. We've got a little emergency board. If you see this, call ABC, CBS. Fox News, one after the other. You just bring them all down. We're going to lock ourselves inside and wait till the news crews get together. We're not going to douse ourselves in front of nobody. That's dumb, right?
That'd be silly. Yeah,
it's a brilliant plan.
But that's it. It's that nobody is picking up the story from our side because we just don't have the lobbying power and money to do that. And it's unfortunate because there was a time that we could have done it.
Yes. Rob says, I like how Dimmy admits he's 50 before actually being 50. Yeah, I mean, I hate it too. Rob, trust me, I hate it. I had this going with Phil for the last 2 years. When Phil turned 50, it gave me 2 years of pleasure, jokes, entertainment for you guys. For you guys coming here.
Oh my, opinions from both ends. You are listening to The DP Show with Dimmy and Phil.
And in a short 3 weeks, I'm going to lose that. It's sad. And
don't forget, Dimitri took great pleasure every time I put on my cheaters. And guess what? Mm-hmm.
Bro, I can't see. It's getting worse. It's getting worse.
Oh, it just gets worse and worse, man. But I feel good.
My shirt. By the way, didn't you take the Pfizer vaccine?
Yes.
When are you going for your booster?
You have to be 65 and over.
Oh, really? Oh, you're almost there. By the way, if you want, I have some.
Let me tell you something. Oh, by the way,
I guess so. I got a booster for you, buddy.
I didn't notice that shirt. Look at that. You know what? It's no better, in my opinion. It's no better than a real vaccine, and that's something that okay. So when I promoted the show tonight, I thought that was something that you were going to bring up.
I haven't gotten to it yet. We've got so many topics.
We were going to go at odds a little bit on that one.
We got so many topics. I can't. But I will get into it briefly. And if you saw, I saw Norway. Norway is at 84%. By the way, Norway is not back to normal. That's just everybody. People how they like to take the news, but these social media are a great, platform for your opinion, but always keep in mind that's your opinion, and your opinion is not facts. People are stupid, Phil. Norway's at 84. China, I just read the article the other day. I told you, China is at over 70% vaccination rate right now. We're talking about a country with billions of people. Almost 70%. Greece as a whole, I think it's at 63%, 64% right now. I want to get past this. I want to get done this. Let's just do whatever we need to do. I want to get past this. I want this to be done. People are going crazy.
You want to know when it's going to be done? I'm going to tell you when it's going to be done. When media stops reporting on it. Nothing else is going to stop.
But that's not going to happen.
This is not going to go away. No amount of vaccine, no amount of masks, nothing is going to solve this until media stops talking about it.
Do you think if we light Dan Donahue up, would that take away from the COVID coverage a little bit? Maybe
it might for a little bit, but don't waste that. I mean, that's for vaping. That's not for COVID.
The shock value of COVID is too high for media. They can't let it go, Phil.
And they're not going to. That's what I'm saying. Like I know you're very like you want everybody to be vaccinated, okay?
Yeah, but that's not the point I'm making. That's not the point I'm making. I think you're mistaken on that. My point is that they've taken this and they've made it in such a division issue that everybody's posting their own stupid shit that has absolutely. You don't want to take the vaccine, don't take the vaccine. But you don't have to get out there and make a post and compare it to the Holocaust. For fucking sakes. Millions of Jews that got killed in Auschwitz, and you want to compare wearing a mask and taking a vaccine with that?
No, well, that's ridiculous.
That's what I'm telling you. We don't need
stuff that's going on out there. Right?
We don't need herd immunity.
And I think everybody should get vaccinated, and I'm vaccinated. And I think it's silly not to get vaccinated, but there's no time that I will say that you have to get vaccinated. I think that's absolutely wrong. I don't think there should be a mandate, and I think why you're seeing some of the stupid shit is because there is a mandate.
That's the reason why we're seeing people post about the Holocaust.
No, that's just dumb.
I mean, come on, Phil. This is what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is that we at least do whatever you're going to do, but at least don't divide this country. And people are going nuts. They're going crazy, man. I'm scared for my kids. I'm scared for my life. I'm scared for the future of this country.
Well, so am I. But who's dividing the country when the fucking president of the United States stands up on a podium and says everybody needs to get vaccinated? And this is the what do you call it? The war of the unvaccinated. And we're losing our patience with you. Who's fucking dividing the country?
I don't disagree with you. I don't. But just because he says it, that means that we have to follow it and we have to divide within ourselves? When did we ever listen to politicians?
I don't post anything political on Facebook because it just turns out to be a big shit show. I just stay away from it. I don't even like talking about it now because I know like some people are gonna be like, yeah, some people are like, fuck you, because it's so divisive. But I'm telling you, what is causing the divisiveness is not necessarily some dumbass posting something on Facebook. It's mainstream media and our government.
Yes, I agree. But you cannot disagree that the will and the desire of stupid people to share misinformation is happening constantly.
Hey, look, I have been saying for years now that social media is the greatest thing on the planet because it gives everybody a voice. And social media is the worst thing on the planet because it gives everybody a voice. How many times have you heard me say that?
A lot. We don't need herd immunity. We need herd intelligence. We need some more intelligence into people. Can we spread that? Can we pass it on? Can we, I don't know, do something to spread that herd immunity? That would be great. Herd intelligence is what we need.
I think it's more than intelligence. I think it's just people just need to get along, and if they don't agree, that's not a reason to hate somebody.
Yeah.
And that's where we are. If you don't agree with me politically, and even that's something that I've been saying for a long time, even prior to this COVID stuff, is like, well, I don't agree with you, therefore I have to hate you. Hey, look, everybody knows that on occasion you like men, and I just like women. You know what? I still hang out with you. I still love you as a human being.
Nothing wrong with that. My body, my choice.
That's absolutely right. Absolutely right.
But that's true. I see people that I'm friends with that I had to block or unfollow for simple. I mean, I just can't stand seeing this shit that they post. I just can't. It's just too much.
What I don't like is that like people that are preachy I think
I hate
should
that
have
too.
Their opinions, and I think everybody should have their ideas and things that they believe in, and should be left alone. But the problem is that when they have these opinions and these ideas, they need to preach them.
Yeah.
Right. They're preachy. They preach on Facebook. They preach on Twitter. I don't even go to Twitter. Twitter's a fucking cesspool of people that don't agree with each other. It's ridiculous. And by the way, I want to point out something. I think I have to go way up here. Mike, Vaping Mike, Vaping on the mic. You know who I'm talking about.
Mike Peterson.
Yeah, Mike Peterson. He put something about what PPTers was, and it was a percentage of this, that, and the other thing. And
I didn't see it.
Tan as fuck. By the way, I'm very upset with Tan as fuck.
Yeah.
Dimitri knows this, right?
I know.
Because I got that new gold bottle. I should have had a photo ready. I got that gold bottle, and so I took a little boat cruise. And I start spraying it, because I like to lube up a little bit, right? Spraying it all over myself, and then I always I don't just spray it in my face. I spray it into my hand, and then I do this with my face, right? And I'm driving along, and I look at my fucking palms, and my palms are tan because it's got color in it. I hate tanning lotion that has color in it. So
Too late.
I sent a picture of my tan palms to Dimitri, and he was very turned off by that. Very turned off, and I was too. I'm very upset with tan as fuck right now. Tan AF.
Yeah, I saw a comment about if the political climate would change, would vaping change? No matter who's up there, nobody cares about us. I don't care if it's left or right or center or my nuts. Nobody gives a shit about us. It would be the same shit show as we're seeing right now. Nothing would change. I saw another little funny comment here that I wanted to bring up to expand. Dan Donahue says, "I'm with you, Phil. We're being played." Played or not, I mean, there's people dying. You can't deny that, Dan. I mean, there's people dying. I personally, I know people that have died from it. So, I mean, I don't know what, you can't deny that is what I'm saying. Americans don't even realize how great we have it, so we make up stupid things to hate each other over. Man, arbitrary alias, that's probably one of the best comments I've seen in this show. You're absolutely right. Unless they get out of this country, ask Phil. He's been in a French hospital. And hopefully never again.
That is so true. You see a lot of the stuff, we're being persecuted, this, that, and the other thing. We don't have, go travel. Go see how other people are living. Go experience different cultures in different countries. Unfortunately, not a lot of people are going to have that opportunity. There's a reason why people are pouring into the border, because we got it good here. We got it really, really good. And just people just don't appreciate it. Like the other day, I was even talking to the neighbor, and I was upset about something, and then I stopped and I'm like, you know what? Why even get upset? Look at the situation. Look at that. The house that I live in. You do working hard and everything, but it's man, there's just no reason to be upset at some of the stuff that I get upset about, right? Sometimes you got to really, be thankful for what you do have and not be so negative about what you don't.
Absolutely. Digby spent his stimulus check buying a year's supply of e-liquid from a business that was getting shut down by the ban. That's a good stimulus right there. Delicious stimulus that goes out there. Dan Donahue, I got the Moderna suppositories. A little large, but I have a comorbidity. I love it. That's the great thing about it. We can agree to disagree, but we can laugh about it and be friends afterwards. Stop this hatred, man, and it's driving me nuts, man. It's giving me anxiety. You know that, Phil? It's giving me anxiety.
Yeah, I believe it, and that's one of the reasons why every now and then I have to turn off the news and just walk away from the news and just walk away from mainstream media for a while, because it does. It's something that we said in last week's show with Jay Love, and we were talking about the campaign, the true thing that they're doing with the fake depression sticks, right? And it's you got to wonder.
Yeah.
First of all, we know it's bogus, right? But you got to wonder, is that why kids are depressed? Or are kids depressed because it's a really fucked up world we're living in right now? Are kids depressed because of how pressured they are to be on top of things like all of these different social medias, the Instagrams, the TikToks, the Facebooks, the YouTubes? It's it's a lot. It's a lot for a human being to take in and to process.
For kids, especially.
I don't think it's because of a vape that these kids are depressed. I think it's because between all of the social media and the shit they see in mainstream media, it's not good. And I think parents are a little bit on edge too, right? And I think that's translating into the kids too. It ain't fucking nicotine. It ain't vapes. It's the world that we're living in right now.
Oh, you're so right, Phil. You're I was sitting at a coffee shop in Greece, and right across, in my town, it has that square where all the kids play and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I swear to God, Phil, I looked at this bunch of 15, 16-year-olds that were sitting over there, not in the way that you're thinking. I was just looking at them. They were all on their phones on TikTok for hours. I mean, hours. Nobody spoke to each other. It's like 6 or 7 of them. Not one of. They were just TikTok, just one after the other. It's
Absolutely.
just it's so scary. The guy who shot Bin Laden is on the no-fly list for snapping at a stewardess who woke him up. All right. But I have a really good suggestion by a viewer. I'm not going to tell you who it is. But I think this is a very, very good pointer for you. So let's pray your passport comes in and everything is good to go. Before you fly, you should go to your doctor and have your doctor write out a piece of paper that if something happens in France and you have to go to the hospital, that you must be in a heated room. That way, if I have to collect your pee won't be small due to the cold shrinkage.
That's right. I did have to point that out to Dimitri several times.
So make sure you.
I think even before he went for the zipper, I was like, "Hey, dude, it's really cold in here, man." I just want to point that out. Like screaming in pain. I'm on morphine. I'm on painkillers. I'm literally screaming in pain from the spasms. And Dimitri will tell you I was screaming in pain. And I was like, you know what, dude? It's really cold in here. So I just want to point that out. That was still important to me.
Oh, God. We said it all. Is there anything else that we didn't say?
No, I think we covered it all. You know what? I had those 2 shows without you, and it's a challenge, man, to do a 2-hour show and to run everything and to pull up all the websites. So I took a little break. You brought it up tonight. So
well, I'm gonna be flying next week. But if you want to do, I'm literally gonna be on the airplane Tuesday. Oh, by the way, speaking of that, let's just finish with this real quick because this is really, really funny. Apparently, every time I leave the country, it's the end of the world for vape. I don't know how it times out like that. One of my biggest clients got their MDOs, their market denial orders for the PMTAs that we have filed while I'm on the plane going to Greece. I'm on the plane. I got Wi-Fi, of course. My phone starts blowing up. And I'm having a 2-hour conversation through WhatsApp about these MDOs. From the 800 PMTAs that I filed, we got MDOs, 700 of them. That's a lot. And some of my clients, rightfully so, went right to the CTP website and deactivated their account, closed down, send the FDA a letter saying we're not producing anything with nicotine derived from tobacco, and have a nice day and go fuck yourselves, basically. Some switch to synthetic nicotine. Some are ignoring it. Which I agree with all 3 of those, by the way. I just want to put that out there. Not legal advice. But what I found really funny, that all the MDOs that I got, everybody got an inspection within 10 days.
Yeah.
I just want to put this out there for you, Phil. Since 2015, when these regulations were announced, a lot of the good players in this industry try to do everything right. They register their account, they register their products, they file their ingredient listing. Step after step after step, we tried thinking that the FDA is going to give a small business pathway through this PMTA as Secretary Azar, under the previous administration, I have to put this as well, under the Trump administration, said publicly that we are going to give a pathway to small business.
And those are the ones that are at a disadvantage now.
Those are the ones that are getting fucked because there's people that have done none of that shit, pocketed all the money, and are continuing to sell now, and the FDA can't do anything because they don't know where they are. If you're registered, guess what? They have your address. Boom, they'll bust in and they'll inspect. My clients got inspection within 10 days of those letters. That's some of them earlier, some a little bit later, but within 10 days, they got inspection. It's like, you got your MDO, now we're coming to check and see what you're doing. It was funny because in one of the places that they went, he started asking questions about synthetic nicotine. And the guy called me and I said, well, you need to ask them what authority they have from the FDA to be asking you those questions about synthetic nicotine. And if they don't have any authority, you can tell them kindly, politely to go fuck themselves. But yeah, man, I don't know what it is. I'm assuming now Tuesday when I fly out, there's going to be like a hurricane FDA coming to sweep again. So be prepared next week for some bad news, I guess.
Hey, a question for you. I know we're over time right now, but so you said 800 applications, 700 MDOs. Is there a rhyme or reason? Was there a pattern? Was there something about the 100 that weren't denied yet?
Hardware. I have not heard of anyone that has submitted hardware only being denied, which is, again, it's going to fall back to, again, what I was saying in 2014, that nobody wanted to listen to me. We shouldn't file hardware that doesn't have nicotine inside. We shouldn't file it. But of course, not only did the Chinese companies file it, but they went and put this product contains nicotine on the package, even though it doesn't have any liquid. It's so stupid. Tobaccos, menthols, everything else that's flavored, open, liquid, got denied.
Yeah, I
think I have like 8 from a company that have not gotten, but they're gonna get it. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And Juul, the FDA literally comes out. I mean, think about this, Phil. If you're a shareholder, a stakeholder in PMI now, and you own Altria and you own Juul, and the FDA comes out publicly and says, we are going to keep the Juul application and we're going to give it some more time. I mean, if that doesn't tell you that it's going to get approved, I don't know what does. But can you imagine? If you're a shareholder, you're like,
oh, yeah.
I mean, the FDA literally did a press release for the stock. Think about it.
Yep.
I'm trying not to be such a huge conspiracy theorist, but how can you not be? How can you not see that? Like, literally, they make a huge announcement. Oh, we're giving 55,000 denial letters today. We're giving 2,500 denial letters today. We're giving them it. And then they put a press release that we're going to, Juul, we're going to take Juul, we're going to put it here on the desk, and we're going to pat it, and we're going to look it over a little bit more, and it's going to be okay.
But you know what, though? I think they also understand that, okay, it's going to raise a shitstorm if we say okay to Juul and no to everything else. I think they know that, right?
I partially agree with you. I think that they're under such huge pressure from all these, groups, Bloomberg, Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, 𝗡𝗄, Congress. They're under huge pressure to... But the product that the kids are using now is still available on the market, which is the disposables.
Right.
So... I even though I want to believe you, I want to say, well, I mean, the FDA is not stupid. They know vaping is less harmful than smoking. I mean, anybody with common sense would know that in any scientific field. Their excuse is that you can't prove that a kid's not going to use this product.
Well, that could have something that could be like, the Juul 2. I don't know enough about it.
Yeah, it's just a RDIF tracker or whatever. We've known this for a while. I've known this for 3 years that Juul was submitting this to the FDA as well. But I mean, is that going to stop kids from vaping?
Could that be the play by FDA? They're like, hey, you know what? Well, we're not going to release the Juul. We're not going to, but we will say the Juul 2 is okay because of this and because it's something that nobody else has. Now they can let that go.
Sure.
Right?
Sure, they could. I mean, they could say that. I mean, they're probably in different words, but they could say that. But ultimately, when has that stopped kids from doing anything? My point is, I think is really valid. Like, we don't do that with any other product, adult product that's on the market right now. There's no other industry that has to do that. I have to prove that a kid is not going to use my product before I sell it on the market. Can you imagine if alcohol companies had to do that? I mean, beer would be bankrupt. I'm mind blown. I see apathy completely. I mean, look at the post, Phil. Today I made a post about a study that came out. Among adult daily cigarette smokers initially not planning to ever quit, subsequently daily e-cigarette use is associated with subsequent plans to quit smoking. Wow. Spent a couple $1 million. They could just call me on my, power vape line, and I could have told you that instead of, but I mean, zero fucks given. If the human people, the citizens of this country, don't get up and revolt, we're revolting for stupid shit. Like people are going crazy over, I don't know, Tiger King, or people are going crazy about where they stack these crates and they fall over, which, I mean, they're funny as hell, but I mean, but people are revolting over stupid shit, and this, not even people that use the product are saying anything. I see the same people, 20 people on Twitter that were fighting there every day trying to tweet these things out. That's it. At what point is it going to be enough? I don't know. What do they have to take away for people to say enough is enough?
In your opinion, what could help right now?
The only thing that will help is PR. The only thing. I think lawsuits are stupid. I think spending money on the PMTA at this point is stupid. If I was the top 10 e-liquid manufacturers in America right now, I would put money and say, this is, the last swing, build a PR campaign for the next 10 weeks and be on every fucking channel, have 2 or 3 representatives for the industry, get out there and tell people what's happening. I think that's the only thing that's going to help. Honestly, I truly believe that. And Phil, I haven't been wrong many times. And I don't think I'm wrong with this. Unless we raise awareness and make this a public issue that Dan's mom, that's 80 years old, is not going to be able to vape and she's going to go back to cigarettes. That's the only thing that's going to save this industry. Put Dan's mom on TV. Dan's mom on TV will save vaping. There you go. And you have to pay for that. It's not going to happen organically, unfortunately, because nobody gives a shit. But if we make it an issue and we pay a big PR campaign over the next 10 weeks and have Dan's mom on there, Janine, 63-year-old woman, finally found something that quit smoking, the government's taking it. I mean, this is the only thing that's going to take it.
Yeah. And I think because of everything that you see in media right now really is about, we're going to save the children, save the children, save the children. But nobody's talking about killing the adults, right? I mean, yeah, we talk about it and we share stories, and, some of the people that support vaping are writing papers and studies and everything. But that's not what you hear in mainstream media. Mainstream media is all about, we're going to save the children.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody is talking about killing the adults.
Yes. Tiger King 2 is coming out November 17th. I'm very, very excited, by the way. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, very, very excited for the Tiger King 2. I can't wait for the new memes to come out. At least that gave me some satisfaction. Dan asks, any news on Nick at 100 PMTA? I don't know. I have no contact with him and don't work with him anymore, so I don't know. I do not know, Dan. I guarantee you that no flavored vapor product will get a PMTA. How about that? How about that, Dan? I don't care who it is. Naked, clothed, 69, bukkake, I don't care what it is. You're not going to get an open flavored vapor product through a PMTA. Period.
What What do you think about all of the advocacy groups coming together and putting their heads
Woo!
I thought I'd throw that out there. I figured.
They don't have any money. Anyway, everybody's broke anyway. There's no money. All the advocacy groups are broke. They don't have, nobody's paying. They don't have the budget for this. And I don't think that they should. I think that the manufacturers and the stakeholders themselves need to say, look, I'm providing this product to millions of smokers in America that quit smoking with this product. And the government, I think it should be, I mean, I wish the Chinese would participate. I don't think at this point they would. But we blew that chance. But I think at least that the e-liquid makers, top 10, put $1 million each. You got a $10 million campaign that would get us a good solid 10 weeks of constant pressure. It would get $10 million would get us at least 70, 80 appearances on news channels, 2-3 minute segments on Fox News, CNN, blah blah blah, MSNBC, whatever. Don't fucking tell me about CNN. I don't want to hear your shit. Whatever. It would get us about 70, 80 good segments, and it would get us probably about 100 good segments with consumers, you know, like Dan's mom or somebody like that to put them on there. Plus the commercials that we would run to bring awareness to this thing. It would get us about 10 weeks. It would be $1 million a week, basically. That's what I would do. All right, let me see if I missed my mom and Phil's mom. Yeah, and Phil's mom. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, Dan. Yes, absolutely. Paul says PR campaign across. Yeah, it's just it's money, Paul. Like it's, and at this point, these guys are so stressed out. Like, who's gonna take the chance to dump $1 million? I mean, they have it, but think about it. You built a multi-million-dollar company and you're banking this money. You think to yourself, what should I do now? Should I put some money aside for my family for the next, 20 years? Or should I go dump some more money into some shit that I don't know what's going to happen? And I don't blame them. They've dumped money on VTAs and SPADAs and CASAs and all fucking every 3 other letter that's come by this industry. And we've seen 0 results. So I don't blame him on one side. But if you come and ask me as my, call it professional opinion if you want that, through whatever, or call it just a fucking stupid opinion. If you ask me what I would do, that's what I would do. Maybe we can call Stefan Didak and come and get some not blowing smoke money again. Yeah, that worked very well. Someone put in on the chat on my Friday that they were raising $8 million for a big PR campaign. $8 million. Listen. If $8 million are raised this week, I will come on naked on the DP show the next time. Like fully naked. I will come fully naked if $8 million. I mean, maybe Jewel puts up some. I don't know. I don't know. From our industry, $8 million? We couldn't get $2 million 3 years ago when the money was there. I mean, I hope, I pray that it happens. Trust me, I'm not. That would be great. That would be fantastic. But then again, who's managing that money and what results are going to get? That's another story as well, too, right?
Yeah. Well, I know. I think Amanda was talking about. I know she's got something
good.
I don't know what it is, but
I hope it is. But that's exactly what we need to do. John says we need to buy politicians. We don't have time to buy politicians. The next cycle of Congress, what are you talking about? I mean, we can't. What are we going to wait 4 years to? We can't. Buddy, we can't compete with that. We can't. We need media attention right now. Right now, we need to be on every channel saying what the FDA did is capricious. It's unfair. It's unjust. It's unconstitutional, and people will die because of it. That's what we need right now.
By the way, it's publicly out there now that you will be naked on a show if $8 million is.
If $8 million is raised next week, as it's stated here in the message that I got,
Yeah.
I will come on naked. I will lube myself naked with the #1 selling unsalted watermelon peach live on the show. Please let them raise $7,999,000, says don't be depressed. Don't have anxiety, Dan. We're here, buddy. Don't worry about it. We're all going through the same thing. Trust me. All right? Everything's going to be okay. All right. We said it all. Corbin Smith says, I don't think a PR would help now. The Border Patrol horses were banned, taken away. They made accusations about a picture. It's been stated they're going to get punished for a what? I'm not sure if that's for Australia or if that's for here, but no, I think a PR would make would feel like the Marlboro man over there. By the way, when we went to Texas and he got this cowboy hat, they didn't have any size to fit his head. He had to custom make that. We had to actually go get a cow, skin it, and then make that hat custom made to fit his head. It was
custom though. I did buy it in that shop.
It was an interesting process.
and then you made me ride the bull.
Peggy says, I vote 7.9. Peggy, come on. What would be more sexy than on Tuesday night to see a fat guy rubbing watermelon peach all over his naked body? I mean, look at that. That would get us thousands of views, by the way. I just want to put that out there.
It would. I mean, Dimitri's usually naked from the waist down. You can't.
I am right now.
Yeah.
All right, we've said it all. It's 11:25. We went way far. I don't know if you're going to do anything by yourself, Phil, next week, but I will be traveling. And then if you happen to be in Paris, France, we're going to be at the show the 16th, 17th, and 18th of October. Booth C26 with Inikin. I am going to be there for sure. Phil, it's a little 50-50 right now. We do have a special surprise. We are making 100 limited edition stainless steel 510 Zenith/slide drip tips that are engraved with the Eiffel Tower on one side and the Z logo on the other side. We're going to have those to give away. And some new product launches, blah, 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 whatever. We did all the promotion that we could. Anyway, if you're in Paris, come see us. That's basically what I'm saying. Right, Phil?
Yeah, we're going to be there a few more days, too. It looks like we're going to go to Lille again and meet with some of the vendors. So that's cool.
Exciting. All right, Phil, final thoughts.
I have no final thoughts, buddy. It is good to have you back. I'm disappointed that I'm going to lose you already to Greece so quick. I wish I was coming, but we got to just put a firm plan down and get me out there again for sure.
Okay, buddy. Well, you can always get on a plane and come. That's all I'm saying. Is that there's no plan. It's not like you got anything else to do. You can just get on a fucking plane and go.
I was iffy about being away for that long because that would have been almost 4 weeks.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it would because it's
the 6th through the 23rd. What kind of math are you doing?
No, because I'm going to go to Jersey afterwards.
Yeah, another 2 days with your parents. Make it sound like it's the end of the world. Come on. Anyway, all right. Have a wonderful evening, folks. We appreciate you hanging out. And keep doing what you're doing. Keep selling. Keep trying to convert smokers and, let the FDA do whatever they want to do. That's not going to stop our mission. Right, Phil?
Keep vaping, everybody. Just don't stop. Don't stop doing what you're doing. Keep vaping. Do not go back to smoking. Figure out a way. Ask us for help if you need it. Ask other people, in this chat. If you do have the platform product, come over to the platform Facebook page. It's a great place to be. A lot of good people there. And make sure you go out and you contact Dash Vapes and you do buy a bottle of watermelon peach. We discussed it a lot tonight. There's a reason why.
It's
fantastic. It's the number one best-selling flavor in the unsalted line.
It is the number one.
I think eventually we are going to have an ice version of that. No promises. It's been in the works now for
2023,
4 years.
Absolutely.
So, it's any day now.
Any day now.
Richard will get us we got it coming. We got it.
By the way, I sent you a device and a drip tip. I hope you enjoy it. When you put your lips on it, think of me. I touched it with my fingers, just so you know.
I know it's going to have the Greek flag on it. Is there any special way to vape Greek style?
Yeah, you just stick it up your ass first. And have a wonderful evening.